This city's had its champions.
And history is made in Tampa tonight.
Now, we're coming for what's ours. We're the hit you didn't see coming. We're the voice in your head saying, they never let up. We're the ones still standing in the fourth.
1, 2, 3, power!
Focus, discipline, finish. It's what we do.
Let's go!
They said this game wasn't built for us. That we're just women playing a man's sport. But when we take the field, we're done being just anything. You in, or will you be left behind?
Live from sunny Tampa Bay, Florida, it's time for WFA football, and today a tale of two teams. David versus Goliath. The high-flying 4-1 Minnesota Vixen battle the heat as they visit the ground and pound 1-3 Tampa Bay Inferno. And with that, we welcome you into the Sunshine Stage. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin as the Inferno host the Vixen in what is Tampa Bay's final home game, Ben, and today should be a good one.
Giuseppe, we have a beautiful day, we have beautiful weather, and these two teams came to play. They're going to battle it out, and we are so excited to bring it to you here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Well, last week, both teams took losses, and despite the same result, these two cities were feeling much different about how their final scores came to be. For the Inferno, head coach Lori Johnson said she saw belief in her team's eyes as they fell to the Pittsburgh Passion by a final score of 27-26 last week, after their two-point conversion failed at the end of the game. And for the Minnesota Vixen, they fell 10-7 to the St. Louis Slam. We're going to take a step aside as we get set for WFA football next. It's live here from sunny Tampa Bay, Florida on Varsity Media.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media's been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
We welcome you back to the Sunshine State for Week 6 of the Tampa Bay Inferno and Minnesota Vixen, battling it out here from the Sunshine State. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin, and it's time to get to some impact players for today's game. First off, for the Minnesota Vixen, Jackie Radford, 14 receptions on the season. She's found the end zone 5 times. She has been one of the most prolific players for this offense. On the defensive side of the ball, it's the safety, number 13, Britt Peterson, leading the team in both solo tackles and combined tackles, and had the Vixens' only touchdown last week in their 10-7 loss. Came on a 75-yard punt return. And for the Tampa Bay Inferno, the home team 1-3, looking to get back into the win column. They haven't done that since week 2. It's Meg Joyce. Don't let the yards fool you on just 6 receptions. This is a run-first offense, but Meg Joyce has been a leader, according to head coach Laurie Johnson. And on the other side of the ball, it's Maria Turner, who goes by Danny. Solo tackles 16, assists 7. She has been incredible. And how head coach Laurie Johnson described her, she plays the defensive side of the ball, looking to cause havoc. And that is exactly the tone that Tampa Bay is looking to set here today, as they are in search for their 2nd win of the season. For the Tampa Bay Inferno, just 1-3 on the season so far. They have been a ground and pound offense, and we'll start with some keys to the game for both sides. For Minnesota, they need to generate pressure early with their defensive line. They've been one of the best at it. They lead the league in QB pressures. Maintain a strong offensive tempo. They are a high-flying team. They've averaged 41 points per game this season. That's 2nd in the WFAA. And control the line of scrimmage. They need to be strong on the ground as well, as what Tampa Bay does so well. For the Inferno, they know what they're going up against. It's one of the most explosive offenses in the WFAA. They need to be able to create 3-and-outs and create them often. Limit the explosive plays, something that the St. Louis Slam were able to do against Minnesota last week, and control the clock. They dominate the game on the ground. They are one of the best rushing teams in the entire league. And if they want to keep up with a high-flying Vixen, they'll have to be able to control their time of possession and win down low.
Yeah, Giuseppe, this is a great challenge for Tampa. I know this is their final home game of the season. They'll have one more game next week, but sitting at 1-3, a chance to go 2-3, and you know they want to finish the season at 500. I think that's the goal. So it starts today, and like you said, it's a big challenge here on the field for them.
Well, speaking with head coach Laurie Johnson the other day, she acknowledged that Tampa Bay's roster much smaller than Minnesota's. Minnesota playing in a bit of a tougher conference, and she knows this is going to be the toughest challenge, as she said, throughout the entirety of their season. As we're getting set for kickoff, the Tampa Bay Inferno set to receive. And with that, we are underway from the Sunshine State, the Tampa Bay Inferno and the Minnesota Vixen. Return from their own 10-yard line. Here comes Tampa Bay, taken down at the 30-yard line as we get set to watch Tampa Bay's offense for the first time today. And taking the snaps is number 5, Octavia Lowell. Just 92 yards through the air so far. She is not the biggest passing quarterback. She was splitting time with the other quarterback, number 6, Malijah Sullivan, who's on the IR. Just 1 touchdown on the season. She is going to be keeping the ball on the ground, as you can see with those stats right there.
5'4", 100 plus pounds from Eckerd College, living in Tampa, Florida. Octavia Lowell, let's see what she can do today for this squad.
Well, we are getting just set to go, as Tampa Bay in the I formation starting off, and it is a handoff over to the left side, and rumbling and stumbling for a couple of yards, getting taken down. It's about a 2-yard pickup. As we'll take a better look at the offense here today. That was Shea Rutland and Tia Holmes in the backfield. That was Tia Holmes who picked up the ball for the 2-yard game. She really shined In the 27-26 loss last week to the Pittsburgh Passion, she earned herself another start here today. Meg Joyce, number 88, one of our impact players. She has been a leader on this offensive side of the ball. She understands her role well, as head coach Lori Johnson said. And once again, Octavia Lull takes the snap, handoff to the inside. It's Tia Holmes again. And once again swarmed for just about a pickup of 1 yard as the Minnesota Vixen defense. They were able to hold St. Louis to just 10 points last week, looking to stay strong down low. They know Tampa Bay's identity is to run the ball, and they are stacking the box early in this one.
And, gee, here comes your first test if you're Tampa. 2 runs, only a gain of 2 yards. It brings up a 3rd and long. We haven't seen the pass attempt yet. I think we're in store for that right now.
Well, Octavia Lull last week, she had 11 carries for 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not a lot of passing. Meg Joyce, you got to keep an eye on her, number 88 in black. She led the team last week with 59 yards. As once again, Tampa Bay in an I formation. And it's a pitch to the outside. This time it's Rutland with it, bouncing it to the outside, has room, gets by one defender, and finally taken down.
Well, they proved me wrong. They didn't go to the air that time. A nice little pitch play off the right side and good blocking by the offensive line. Picked up 3-4 yards, but now you're in a 4th and 5 situation from your own territory. It's a decision-making time now for Tampa.
And in their own end, looks like they are going to get set up to punt it. And for Tampa Bay, they know that Minnesota, they're looking to get back into that offensive rhythm they've been in all season long. They've scored 50-plus points in 3 out of their 5 games up to this point. The only times they haven't done that was week 1 where they scored 26 and last week where they scored just 7. And the punt bounces out of bounds just about the 45-yard line, going to be good field position for Minnesota in their first drive of the game.
Yeah, it wasn't the best punt of all, but the good news is for Tampa, there was no return, at least there. So you're going to have good field position for Minnesota here to start their offensive set.
And here is Erin Kelly looking to get back into an offensive groove. She certainly had an off day last week, but you see her stats there. 734 yards, 56 of 114 passing, and 12 touchdowns, a 90.3 passer rating. She's been one of the best in the WFA up to this point. And looking to regain that offensive stability that her team knows so well. She's in the shotgun set right now, and it's a pass play. She looks to the right, and she throws it short, bounces in the turf.
Might have been deflected there by Tampa.
And here's the offense for the Vixen. Ray Jefferson, somebody to keep an eye on. She is the starting running back today. Joanna Vermeulen is injured on the injured list, so it's Ray Jefferson who will be taking the majority of snaps in the backfield. As we mentioned, the quarterback, number 10, Erin Kelly. Kelly has been incredible all season long. From last week, though, just 83 yards. She was 7 of 23 passing. No touchdowns from the offense. That came on a punt return, as we mentioned before in the pregame, from Britt Peterson. And once again, it's Erin Kelly in the shotgun set. Ray Jefferson behind her. And 1st and 10 from their own 45. And that play gets blown up in the backfield. Ray Jefferson is swarmed and finally taken down, but they blew the play dead before Jefferson dropped about 5 yards on the play, so it should be a 3rd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, hard to see who got the penetration in the middle there, but great anticipation by Tampa. It looked like it might have been Jennifer Marshall, if that's number 4. Hard to see the numbers here with the red numerals on the black uniforms with the sun beating down, but I believe it was Jennifer Marshall from Fort Benning, Georgia, with the great play there.
Jennifer Marshall, the only player of this Tampa Bay Inferno team not from Florida, so a lot of this team kept in-house, but a Georgia native nonetheless. Let's see what the Vixen draw up here, and it's a play action. As Erin Kelly airs it out down the right side of the field, and she can't find anybody. It's a 3 and out for Minnesota, just like Tampa Bay.
Yeah, great coverage by the secondary of Tampa. They bracketed that wide receiver down the field, and there was really no window open there. Great defense by the Inferno.
And Minnesota and Tampa Bay in their feeling out process so far. A couple of drives, a couple of 3 and outs for the Vixen. Their identity comes through the air as we get set up for the punt here. And for Tampa Bay, we know their ground and pound identity. As here's a snap, and here's the punt, boots it away. Ball will take a bounce, and it is going to slowly but surely roll out of bounds just shy of the 25-yard line as Tampa Bay sets up once again. And it will be Octavia Lowell coming back out to lead her offense and looking for a different result this time with the ball in the Tampa Bay Inferno's hands.
Well, special teams right now, neither team wants to allow the other for any returns. We've seen 2 punts now, both punts going out of bounds, no returns whatsoever. And Tampa's kind of taking over where they started this game, right around the 25, 27-yard line. We saw them go 3 and out. Let's see if they get any success here second time around.
And something to keep an eye on is Akaya Taylor, number 10, the running back. She leads the team in touchdowns with 4, but she had a bit of an off game yesterday. It became Tia Holmes' game where she proved to be the lead running back, and it's been a running back by committee ever since. And another handoff here to Tia Holmes, and she swarmed, loses the ball, it's out, and Minnesota falls on top of it, and they're going to be set up at the 15-yard line of the Tampa Bay Inferno.
We're definitely going to get a look here and see what happened. A lot of white shirts come to that football. It was 96 with the first penetration, and it just looks like she lost the football. It just slipped right out of her hands. And a nice job there by Minnesota to pounce on it.
How about that? Just 2 plays, and the Vixen set up in the red zone of Tampa Bay. Looks like it was Cynthia Bryant, the first one to make contact there, and then eventually jump on the ball. And now for Tampa Bay, they've had one of the slower defenses in the leagues. They're going up against an offense that averages 41 points per game, and they just gave them outstanding starting field territory. Rolling out is Aaron Kelly, takes a shot to the end zone, and it is over the head of everybody out of bounds.
Well, I want you to look at Marshall, number 4 again. We're going to spot shadow her because her penetration up the middle is just outstanding. If we could take another look right here in the middle, you see she's going to shoot. Well, it started a little bit late, but there she is, number 4. She came out front, and she's created the quarterback throwing a little early.
So 2nd and 10 from the Tampa Bay 15-yard line. They've ran it once so far and gone stuffed, but Minnesota has kept the ball in the air so far. As they draw up what their next play is going to be, led by head coach Connor Lewis. Connor Lewis, part of the Baltimore Ravens program, their fellowship program back in 2022, so she brings outstanding experience as she sat in with meetings of now New York Giants head coach John Harbaugh. Aaron Kelly takes a snap, RPO, throw over the middle, and it's a touchdown for the Vixen. They jump out in front 6-0 as we await to see what number caught the ball. It's Minnesota out in front after just 2 possessions on the play.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at this replay here. A little bit of play action, and they run what looks like the tight end, 4 yards in the flat. And a nice job by 81 getting in for the touchdown.
That is Jackie Radford. Radford, a player that we were told to keep an eye on in this game, and ask and you shall receive. Jackie Radford found in the red zone on an RPO slant over the middle. The kick for the extra point is up, and it is good. It's a 7-0 lead for the Minnesota Vixen. 11 and a half minutes left to go in this first quarter. And with that, we will jump to a quick break, but we're live from Tampa Bay, Florida. It's the Vixen 7, Inferno nothing, live from the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Merrill, he's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off X3 in a row now.
Back from Tampa Bay, Florida, it's the Vixen 7, Inferno 0 after Jackie Radford hauled in her 6th touchdown of the year from Aaron Kelly after they were set up in beautiful field position following a forced fumble. And the kickoff is up and away. And here comes Tampa Bay returning it from their own 10-yard line. And a nice return brought down just shy of the 40-yard line around the 37. as Tampa Bay will get set up on their own end, just shy of their own 40-yard line, looking for a different result. Just 2 plays their last drive before a forced fumble had Minnesota set up on Tampa Bay's 15-yard line.
Yeah, hard to see who returned that. Saw an 80 number, possibly Margaret Etheridge, 87, possibly Roberta Pass. Kind of difficult to see the numbers.
Well, one number we know for sure, number 5, Octavia Lull, has yet to throw the ball so far in this game. And we mentioned running back by committee, and we could see now Tia Holmes, who coughed up the ball on their last possession, out of the backfield on this one. Lull drops back to pass, being swarmed, evades a tackle, and here she goes. Octavia Lull bounces it to the outside, able to pick up a few yards on the play as she pulls off a nice little Houdini act in her own pocket before being able to evade a couple of tackles.
And obviously you can see what Lull brings to the table on the drop back. The pocket collapses, but she's able to step up in the pocket and have some running room there. Great play by the quarterback, setting her team up close to midfield.
Well, Octavia Lull, she rushes more than any quarterback in the league. She had 11 carries for 163 yards last week. She's second in the team on rushing yards as a whole. Before last week, she was second with 128 yards. So she had a lot of that against the Pittsburgh Passion, where the offense really came alive.
Now set up in the shotgun.
Minnesota showing pressure. They send again. Octavia Lull bounces it to the outside, has a block, and she bounces it, getting brought just down shy of the 45-yard line.
Folks, I'm sorry I can't give you the number, but I want to show you the block on this replay because it's outstanding. Take a look at the fullback right here and watch this block. Boom. And she gives the extra effort for Lull to get close to that first down or get the first down.
Well, that could have been either Hannah Hanelick or Tynequa Roberts, either of those two. Ty for short, as I like to call her. A couple of fullbacks on this team.
Well, without that block, we're not at 3rd and short right now. So excellent blocking here early for Tampa.
Just about 3 or 4 yards short of the stick, looking to pick up their first down. Octavia Lull in the shotgun set yet again. Minnesota showing pressure. They drop back this time. They send 5 now, and a screen pass is blown up, and it's short of the sticks again.
Ashley Parker, the tight end from the University of Alabama, living in Ocala, Florida right now. Here's a look at it. She comes back for the pass, but like you said, Giuseppe, just great coverage there by Minnesota.
And that is going to bring out the punt unit once again for Tampa Bay. That was Sophie Colhane who was able to get a hand on the tight end, bring her down in a swarming defense. One of the things that head coach Connor Joe Lewis talked about in the pregame was to swarm the players just as Tampa Bay wants to. Here's the punt. It's up, and it is away. And a bounce at the 30-yard line. Backing up is Britt Peterson. And that's where Minnesota will set up for their 3rd drive of the game on their own 30-yard line. For the Vixen, they had a passing touchdown their last time out. They set up shop on Tampa Bay's 15-yard line following a fumble by Tia Holmes. And now for the Vixen, looking to pull away earlier, at least put their foot on the gas. Something they've done so well as the season has gone on was just be able to continue to beat down on their opponents. Listen to some of these scores. They had a 58-0 win against Dallas in Week 4, a 56-6 victory at Houston, a 62-20 victory in the Mile High City as well in Denver. They have been able to take care of their opponents. Here's Aaron Kelly. Takes a snap in the shotgun, pitch out to the right side. Here comes Ray Jefferson. Jefferson runs into her own woman and finally swarmed to get a little past the line of scrimmage, but nothing doing for the ground game so far for the Vixen.
Yeah, credit Tampa there defensively on the pitch, on the run out. They were able to stay in their lanes. They beat their blocking, and they were able to get a good tackle there. Still will bring up about 2nd and 6.
The Vixen have really made their home through the air this season. When it comes to rushing stats, they're about bottom of the league in yards per game on the ground, rushing touchdowns, anything to do with the run game. The Vixen have not been comfortable doing, but you need to establish some sort of run as they're in the I formation now. Jet sweep picked up and bouncing it to the outside. Here comes Jackie Radford. Radford down the sideline as she gets by a defender. Here goes Radford all by herself. Nothing but green ahead of her to the 10-yard line, and she is in for the Minnesota touchdown. Jackie Radford's second of the game, and the Vixen jump out in front 13-0, pending the extra point.
Well, on the play before, we said that they stayed in their lanes, did Tampa, and it led to a tackle. This time, not so much. You're going to see Minnesota get the outside. There's the edge. She beats the edge, and then off to the races. The speed right there, greater than 50-yard touchdown run, and Minnesota's out to a big lead.
And how about Jackie Radford, the speedster, outside of the edge? Connor Joe Lewis said keep an eye on her. She was going to be important in this game. As here comes the extra point for the Vixen. And the kick is up after a bobbled snap. It is good. And Minnesota jumps up 14-0. We'll take a step aside. It's the Vixen up by 2 scores. Live here from the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now's your chance to score a touchdown with Varsity Media's ISO video. Video footage that focuses on your athlete only. Perfect for recruiting reels. Spots are limited, so reach out today. Email jeff@varsitymedia.net to book your next ISO video with Varsity Media.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media @varsitymedia.
It's a 14-0 lead for the Vixen over the Inferno. Giuseppe Oliveri, Ben Turchin, pleased you could be joining us from the sunny state of Florida and the sunny city of Tampa Bay. The Vixen, a couple of touchdowns back-to-back, both in the hands of Jackie Radford. As the kickoff is up and away, that ball will take a trip all the way to the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, we also want to thank Jen Moody and the entire Tampa organization and the WFA for having Varsity Media here to produce this broadcast. We know it's their last home game of the season, and we are happy to bring this live to all of their fans.
Well, speaking with Jen Moody and Lori Johnson as the week went on preparing for this game, they were nothing but nice to me on the phone calls. I mean, incredible stuff from the both of them. Both former players in the WFA. As it was Lori Johnson, who was a former wide receiver of the Pittsburgh Passion, a team that they played last week. They founded the Inferno back in 2012, and they're celebrating 15 years of Tampa Bay Inferno football. Just great stuff from the WFA as they continue to grow and continue to bring viewers in from across the United States. Here's Octavia Lowell in the shotgun set, handoff to Tia Holmes. She tries to bounce one to the outside, but the same old story. She's wrapped up in the backfield for another loss.
I almost think they're setting up Minnesota for possibly another long run, because that was what they had successfully on the previous series for Tampa. It doesn't seem like they've been that successful on the left side with those runs, but let's see what they set up here.
The offensive line has really been able to help this rushing game get to where it is so far. One of the best rushing teams in the league when it comes to rushing yards per game. It's just around 200. That's third in the WFA, and they were really able to ground and pound last week against the Pittsburgh Passion. But so far this week, a much tougher opponent, and Minnesota has had their number. Octavia Lowell drops back to pass, has time, floats one over to the left side, and she is blown up on the play. Taken down, and once again, looks like it's going to be another loss of yards for this Inferno team.
You mentioned the offensive line for Tampa. We'd love to give a shout-out to these players, Melissa Aubel, TJ Crew, Laria Jenrette, Noah King, and Alexis Walker for the Tampa Bay Inferno. That's the big beef up front, if you will, here for that team.
Always the most underappreciated part of the sport. You know, I always say, you'll never notice when an offensive line is doing their job, but you'll be the first to notice when they are not doing their job. And this offensive line all season long, one of the best. They've flown under the radar. And despite the 1-3 record, this ground and pound identity starts with those women up front.
And they're in for a third and long right now.
Octavia Lowell drops back, and she's going to fire one over the middle of the field. It's intercepted, and here comes Minnesota the other way. And finally taken down is number 22, Ashley Wallen. And Wallen, her first interception of the season, sets up Tampa Bay, and that's now 2 turnovers for Minnesota in the first quarter.
As we take a look at the replay, you're going to see a rush put on here for Minnesota. This is not the strength of Tampa. You know they want to ground and pound, like you mentioned, Giuseppe, over the middle of the field, which is not the best strategy always on a 3rd and long, and give credit for Minnesota was able to sniff it out, and now they are set up deep in Tampa territory.
Well, Octavia Law began the season as a wide receiver. She had to fill in from Elijah Sullivan, who went out with an injury a couple of weeks ago. And Elijah Sullivan, certainly the better passer of the two quarterbacks. You're seeing it here now as Law trying to find her footing. But the Minnesota swarm is exactly what Connor Joe Lewis drew up. And now Minnesota set up. It's Erin Kelly in the shotgun set on the Inferno 20-yard line. She's going to throw one for the end zone here, and it is caught. Touchdown for Minnesota. Amanda Dvorak now finds the end zone, and it's a 20-0 lead for the Vixen.
Yeah, everything going Minnesota's way here to start the first quarter. A beautiful pass by Minnesota. Wide open receiver in the end zone as we take another look. Just a nice, strong throw down the field, and that receiver opened by a few yards there for Minnesota.
And for the Vixen, really putting their foot on the gas now. They knew they were going to have to come out and make a statement, something they were not able to do last week. They didn't have one offensive touchdown. They now have 3 in the first quarter. The extra point is up, and it is good. And deja vu, it's the Vixen with another touchdown. They're up 21-0. From Tampa Bay, Florida. You are watching WFA football here on the Varsity Sports Media Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Well, the team from Chile, Minnesota, having no problem battling the heat here in Tampa Bay, Florida. The Vixen lead the Inferno 21-0. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin. Pleased you can be joining us for Week 6. It's the home finale for the Inferno against the Vixen here on the Varsity Media Sports Network as the kickoff is up and away. And the Inferno just looking to get past the 50-yard line for the first time today. And finally, the ball picked up on their own 5-yard line and brought down at their own 20 is Tampa Bay. And when it rains, it pours right now for the Inferno. Looked like they had a little trouble picking up that kickoff return, not right in front of their own end zone. Just a tough start to this game.
So what I've noticed so far from Tampa's offense, a lot of their plays have been run to the left side, of the far side of the field. And I don't know if that's something to set up Minnesota later in the game here, or let's see if they go to the right side. And also let's see if coach is able to free up Octavia Lowell, who seems to be their best weapon offensively. So I'd look for that on this offensive series.
Going to be very interesting how much we do end up seeing Tia Holmes really break out in this one, and Akaya Taylor especially. Taylor, number 10, who has yet to see the field yet. She has been this team's leading back for most of the season, but the running back by committee has bit her next. And here is Tia Holmes. Handoff up the middle, and she gets a few yards on the play. That's probably the best pickup for Tampa Bay so far in this one.
Yeah, get a couple of yards, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, try it again, and maybe on third down it's a play-action situation and you're freeing Lowell up for a big run. So let's see what they do. It's going to bring up second and about 6 right now.
Well, despite the 21-0 hole, head coach Lori Johnson says this team is built on belief. They started the season extremely slow, and they were posting a 1-2 record through 3 weeks, but she says they saw the belief against the DC Divas when they lost 26-20. And that was the first time Tampa Bay put up a fight for all 4 quarters and saw belief in each other's eyes. Lowell under center, handoff up the middle. It's Tia Holmes again, bounces one to the outside, and she picks up a few yards on the play, and it'll be third and manageable for the Inferno.
Yeah, left side of the offensive line doing a real nice job blocking there for another 3-4 yards. Let's take another look here. We'll spot them out right over here. You're going to see all the blocking shoot out this way. And that gets you a few yards, and now it's third and short.
Nice pancake there from the line up front, playing their physical game.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you. I would think this is going to be 4th down territory. I know you're deep around the 30-yard line, but they need a first down desperately. So if you go for another run here, you might be 4th and 1.
Well, it is 3rd and short right now, down by 21 already. And we'll see what they draw up here. Lori Johnson, both the head coach and play caller for this team. We'll see what she has in mind. A hard count from Octavia Lowell. Now finally, here she is, Akaya for the first time, Akaya Taylor. And she swarmed in the backfield. They lose some yards here, Ben.
Yeah.
For what could have been 4th and short, they lose some yards. Now it feels like you have no choice but to punt it away.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought they had some good things working there, back-to-back positive runs, and they try a pitch play, and you understand that because the blocking's been so good there lately. So you try a pitch, it just didn't work out. Give credit to Minnesota in that defense, and I think you are going to have to punt here now on 4th and long.
Well, here comes Candace Brady. She is no stranger to punting so far in this game. This will be just her 2nd punt, however, as 2 of the times Vixen have gotten the ball have been off of turnovers, 1 fumble and 1 interception. And Minnesota, again, should have some pretty good field position as Brady lofts this one just shy of the 50-yard line and returned over to the right side, through and out of bounds.
I want to thank some sponsors for making this production happen for Tampa. Urban E-Recycling and BMP Studio.
Well, thank you for sponsoring us, and we hope that we do half as good as you guys do when it comes to putting a good product in what we do. And speaking of good products, it's the Minnesota Vixen up 21-0. We're not even out of the first quarter yet, and Erin Kelly already a couple of passing touchdowns, but the star of the show has been Jackie Radford. 1 receiving touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown for well over 50 yards, and Minnesota set up on the Tampa Bay 40-yard line. Erin Kelly in a shotgun set, Radford in motion. They fake the jet sweep to her. This time it's a hand up the middle for Ray Jefferson. Falls forward for a few yards.
Jennifer Marshall with the tackle. We've mentioned her name a couple of times here on the defensive line for the Inferno. Had a sack earlier in the game and a nice tackle there. It's going to bring up 2nd and about 7.
And we'll see what the Vixen want to do as of right now, because clearly you're not even out of the first quarter yet. It's a bit too early to start playing your conservative game, and you don't want to get too ahead of yourselves and play too loosely. So Vixen keeping it on the ground, the first play there. We'll see how much they like to go through the air as they are on the Tampa Bay about 38, 37-yard line. Erin Kelly in a shotgun set again. Ray Jefferson behind her in the backfield, and it's another play action pass, this time out to the right side. Picked up by Dvorak as she gets wrapped out of bounds just short of the first down marker.
Yeah, nice tackle to get the receiver out of bounds to bring up the 3rd down.
And now we'll see here. 3rd and short. We mentioned 4-down territory before. And for the Inferno, who have really gotten nothing going so far, you can only assume this is going to be 4-down territory as well for Minnesota. And if it is the run play that comes up next for the Vixen, as
we're going to get a timeout here.
Yep. We'll have a timeout called by Tampa Bay as they want to talk one over. And we'll take a look at the WFA standings as we are through 5 weeks. This is week 6. The Pittsburgh Passion undefeated. They've taken care of the Tampa Bay Inferno a couple of times. The DC Divas 3-1. The Cincinnati Cougars 2-3. And the Tampa Bay Inferno, who got off to a slower start. They do have 1 win on the season, but they've been putting up some true fights over the last couple of weeks. Bottom of the conference with a 1-3 record.
National Conference East region, the WFA Pro standings made up of a couple of different conferences, and this is their region. And we talked about if they could get a win today and then finish up on the road, I think their goal would be 500. I mean, I know it's 21-0, but it's only the first quarter. Crazier things have happened.
And this is a team that's been built on belief from head coach Lori Johnson all season long. This is a locker room of unity, she said. She said that she's got the players to buy into what they are selling for their culture. And since that has happened, they've played much more together. Ray Jefferson in the backfield. Erin Kelly in the shotgun snap. She has not taken many snaps under center, and we have a flag on the play. And it looks like a false start on Minnesota. That'll back them up.
Yeah, that's a break that Tampa will take there. 5 yards going the other way. Now it's 3rd and long, and if they can stop them here, they're going to get the football back.
Amanda Dvorak has been found a couple of times in this game, one for a touchdown, and she was the last player to touch the football for Minnesota. But Jackie Radford has been the main name to keep an eye on so far. One receiving touchdown, one rushing touchdown, and another reception.
Here she is right here, 81 right there. Keep an eye on her. In motion now.
To the far side, and she takes the pitch again. Evades a tackle. Here comes Radford up the sideline, stepping out of bounds. We'll see where they mark her.
First down.
And they are going to move the chains.
Yeah, great play call there by Minnesota on a 3rd and long. You brought her up. We spotlighted her in motion, and you see that Tampa doesn't follow her in the motion play and just left the sideline wide open for her to scoot to the first down.
And she has been so shifty in this game so far. She's been able to evade a couple of tackles. Did it right there again in her own backfield. And if she doesn't do that, that's a 4th and long for the Vixen. But now a fresh set of downs. Jefferson in the backfield. She takes a handoff right up the middle. Here comes Jefferson. Bounces one up, and she is taken down about a 5-yard gain for Ray Jefferson, who is taking a bulk of the handoffs today.
Jefferson looking a lot like Derrick Henry of the Ravens with that big-time run, setting up 2nd and 5. It took 3 or 4 Inferno to bring her down.
Well, it's funny that you bring up Derrick Henry in an NFL comparison, because there was an NFL running back comparison by head coach Connor Joe Lewis. He said Ray Jefferson runs much like Le'Veon Bell, patient in the backfield, waits for her holes, and she's been displaying it there. Slant over the middle, and it is dropped by Jackie Radford as she heard the footsteps coming over the middle. And there are 6 seconds left on the clock, good for about one more play in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think on that play, Radford that time did not extend her hands for the catch. They're a little bit nervous. They want to get that hit coming from center field.
Well, there are a couple of heavy hitters on this defense for Tampa Bay, and the list goes on. And we mentioned Meg Joyce a bunch, the safety. But she plays up today at the linebacker position, and Joyce has been a leader of this defense. And if you look all over, Andrea Wells, Danny Turner, just to name a few, who have been so physical and, like head coach Laurie Johnson says, creates havoc on defense. Hand up to Ray Jefferson, and she is able to get just at the sticks. We'll see if they move her along, and waiting on a signal. Now they say it's a first down for Minnesota. And that will end the first quarter as the Vixen knocking on the door once again. Tampa Bay looking for an answer, as we may be getting one more play in this first quarter. Defense staying out on the field for Tampa Bay. Now they'll slowly walk off. And the Minnesota Vixen out to a 21-0 lead. And it was Jackie Radford, a couple of touchdowns in the first quarter. The most impressive, this jet sweep. She had a house call early on. One of the most shifty players in the WFA, showing it right there. That gave Minnesota a 13-0 lead. We'll be right back. It's the Vixen 21, Inferno 0 on the Varsity Media Sports Network from Tampa Bay, Florida.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
We've got some fun in the sun, at least for one of the teams. The Minnesota Vixen up 21-0 against the Inferno in Tampa Bay, Florida. Aaron Kelly in the shotgun snap, looking end zone over the middle of the field, and it is caught for another touchdown. This time, number 12, Sloveg Lundberg, her first touchdown of the game. And Minnesota keeps pouring it on. First play of the second quarter. And it's a 27-0 lead. Aaron Kelly with a teardrop pass on the back of the end zone.
Yeah, simple. Lundberg just beat her man, just a straight skinny post into the end zone. Nice job by the quarterback there. And another score here for Minnesota. They've had their way here so far in the first half.
Well, Lundberg yesterday, one of the team's leading receivers, 3 catches for 37 yards as the extra point is up, and it is good. Tampa Bay in a 28-0 hole early here. And we're going to go right back to break. It's Minnesota up 28, the Tampa Bay Inferno nothing. Looking for an answer. Do they have one? Stay tuned and you'll find out. You're watching WFA football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
All season long, it's been a tale of two teams, the high-flying Minnesota Vixen and the ground-and-pound Tampa Bay Inferno. And we're seeing it here as Tampa Bay receives it in their own territory. Here they come on the kick return. And it is going to be swarmed yet again. Minnesota like a pack of dogs. And once again, Tampa Bay back in their own side of the field will have a lot of work to do. And we're going to take a look at our sponsors once again. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to Urban Recycling and BMP Studio. Tampa Bay thanks you for all of your support throughout the season in making this a successful one.
Tampa Bay celebrating their 15-year anniversary. They get, once again, as we mentioned before, founded by owner and general manager Jen Moody and head coach and offensive coordinator Lori Johnson. Johnson in her first year head coaching the Tampa Bay Inferno. She's been a member of this team for the last 4 years and now in the spotlight. On the other side, Connor Joe Lewis coaching her third year with the Minnesota Vixen. Octavia Lowell getting set up in the shotgun set. And Lowell looking to find an answer offensively. Minnesota's defense has been swarmed. She bounces one to the left side, has blocks. Here comes Lowell. Bounces it back up the middle, and she is swarmed. Hangs onto the football as she gets taken down. It's about a 5-yard gain for the Tampa Bay quarterback. Well, Octavia Lowell learning something new. She is not a passer coming into the season after the other quarterback. It was a quarterback battle all the way, and head coach Lori Johnson said they would have split time, but Malijah Sullivan out for the season with a knee injury. She hopes to get her back next year. Malijah Sullivan, 5'11", 200 pounds, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions on the season. She was attending Tampa University from Chapel, Florida, but now it's from Tampa, Florida, who attended Eckridge College. Octavia Lowell. Lowell once again in the shotgun set. Tampa will have to put the ball in the air eventually if they want to crawl back in this one. And that's exactly what they do. Lowell drops back under pressure, steps up in the pocket, now bounces it back to the outside. Lowell evades a tackle. Here she comes, and now finally wrapped up, but able to gain a few more yards on the play. Octavia Lowell was dead to rights in her own pocket, able to scramble what she does so well and pick up a few extra yards. As you'll see it right here, Lowell stepping up as she was looking downfield for one final option, had nobody, and once again breaking a tackle, able to pick up a few yards on the play but before being taken down by a swarm of Minnesota Vixen. And we talked about it earlier, as this game is getting late fast for Tampa Bay. Maybe 4 down territory. About a 3rd and 6 coming up for the Inferno. And Octavia Lowell set up in the I formation. Akaya Taylor in the backfield. Leads the team with 4 touchdowns. And she gets a pitch out to the right side. No, excuse me, that's Shea Rutland with it. And Rutland gets taken down. About a gain of 4. And Tampa Bay short of the sticks. We'll see what they elect to do.
Yeah, this is a decision time right now for Tampa because it's close enough and you're down by 4 scores. And, you know, if you're going to get back into this game, you have to go for it, although the chains are only showing second down.
So we'll see here, unless unless Lowell picked up a first down on that.
Must have, yeah, she must have, because they're showing second down. So they're in good shape right now at the 45-yard line, second and about 7 yards.
So excuse us, first set of downs was the play, and now Tampa Bay with a second and about 7. Lowell once again in the I formation. Rutland came up limping on that last play. Now it's Akaya Taylor. Taylor to the outside, cuts it back in, wrapped up and fighting through a few tacklers and finally brought down right over the 50-yard line. And for the first time today, the Inferno are in enemy territory.
And another looks like a first down pickup. Nice job on the left side. You got good blocking there. And a good cutback, like you said, into enemy territory here at the 49-yard line. I think good enough for a first down. Indeed.
Tampa Bay has kept the ball on the ground the last couple of plays, and even when they've elected to pass, it's been Octavia Lowell taking off with her own 2 feet. And that's been her identity all game long, fitting in for what this team does. Handoff inside. Once again, it's Akaya Taylor, and this time she's wrapped up, falls forward, however, for a gain of about 4 on the play. So what looked dead, Akaya Taylor pumping the legs and making it a very manageable second down for the Inferno.
And it's just second effort. It's just a will and a want to by Taylor. She could have had a loss of 1, but instead she makes that a gain of 4 or 5.
So Tampa Bay's offense coming alive slowly but surely as they're in the huddle right now. And for Tampa Bay, 1-3 on the season. They got off to a slow start, lost to the Pittsburgh Passion 56-14 in week 1. Since then, they won 21-20 and lost their last 2 games by just 1 possession. And the I formation once again is Octavia Lowell. Taylor in the backfield. Tia Holmes lined up at the fullback position. Hand off. It's a play action. Being sworn. Play was brought up. Here's a pass over the middle and just out of the reach of Tampa Bay.
Yeah, there was a receiver downfield. That was a completable ball, but I think it just sailed on Lowell. Could have been a big-time play here for Tampa.
Looks like that was Bree Roberts, number 1, just outside of her reach. And like you said, Ben, that could have been a big boost for this offensive team that has been so sluggish out of the gate so far.
Roberts with the speed, standing at 5'7" from Flagler College in her hometown, Dade City.
So 3rd and 10 for Tampa Bay. They are in enemy territory a little less than 3rd and 10. It's about a 3rd and 7. Octavia Lowell. Once again in the I formation. They've ran it. They've played play action, and this time it's a run again and blown up for a big loss here in Minnesota once again doing what they do best, and that is swarming the backfield. And that was Caitlin Hove on the tackle, and we'll see the replay here.
Sulfine Culhane as well, the linebacker, number 46. I think she was first there with the penetration.
And for the Inferno, we mentioned everything needing to be 4-down territory, but trying to play it safe, keeping it on the ground. And timeout called by the Inferno here. So we'll see what they want to draw up, or they're just giving their players a little bit of a breather. It is hot here in Tampa Bay, Florida. As an 89 degrees, feels exactly like 89 degrees from Sickles High School. A little bit of an overcast, but nonetheless, it's a hot day here. The sun is blaring, and for the Inferno in their home black jerseys cannot be helping their case at all. But I feel anyone would be gassed on a day like today, and thank you God that we're in the booth and not out on that turf.
Yeah, 89 degrees here and a beautiful sunny Saturday afternoon in Tampa. At least we don't have any thunderstorms in the area or anything like that. And it's the last home game. Nice to see some of the crowd come out there, as you can see on the far side of the field in the bleachers. Looks like it's shaded over there, though, so.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like they've got some shade going on. So at the very least, it's been a slow start for the Inferno, but at least their fans can watch in some comfort, not having to sit through the blaring sun like these players. And the punting unit is out for Tampa Bay. That's just too far for them to go for it at just about the 50-yard line. They'll snap it from Minnesota's 49, but be punting it from their own territory. And the Vixen up 28-0 early. 9:56 left to go in the second quarter. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin, thanking you so much for joining us in sunny Tampa Bay, Florida. And a fake pitch there as Britt Peterson holds it herself, and she will lightly jog out of bounds. And Peterson looking to get a little creative on the punt return, but she takes it herself at a 75-yard punt return last week in the 10-7 loss to the St. Louis Slam in St. Louis. And for Minnesota, they needed to respond in a big way after putting up just 7 points. And safe to say they've done that so far through about a quarter and a half. Well, as Minnesota gets set, Connor Jo Lewis, she has quite the resume to her name. We mentioned she was part of the 2022 Baltimore Ravens Fellowship coaching staff, working directly with head coach John Harbaugh and the play callers. And for Erin Kelly, her fifth season as the team's starting quarterback. Ray Jefferson in the backfield. Shotgun set, pitches it over to the outside, or excuse me, that's not Ray Jefferson, but bouncing it, gets through a few tackles, and brought down is Jackie Radford. So Radford lining up in the backfield as the tailback, gets a few yards on the pitch to the left side.
They've moved her all over the place, Giuseppe. 5'10", she is a weapon for Minnesota from St. Catherine University, living in St. Paul, Minnesota. But she can really do it all. They can line her up on the left side, the right side, up the middle. As a tailback, as a receiver, tight end, she's really a Swiss Army knife.
Well, part of the game plan was to get the ball in her hands as much as possible. Let Radford create opportunities, and opportunities she has created. A couple of touchdowns so far in this one. 15-yard touchdown and a run that went for about 60 yards. And it looks like we have an injury out on the field. So we're going to throw it to break very quickly. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. It's the Minnesota Vixen 28, Tampa Bay Inferno nothing on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This city's had its champions.
And history is made in Tampa tonight.
Now we're coming for what's ours. We're the hit you didn't see coming. We're the voice in your head saying, they never let up. We're the ones still standing in the fourth.
1, 2, 3, power!
Focus, discipline, finish. It's what we do.
Let's go!
They said this game wasn't built for us. That we're just women playing a man's sport. But when we take the field, we're done being just anything. You in? Or will you be left behind?
28-0 in Tampa Bay, Florida. Minnesota looking to pour it on. Erin Kelly's pass over the middle looked like it may have been deflected at the line. Came in as a bit of a wobbler. And the Vixen will get set up for yet another play.
That was either deflected or just thrown behind the intended receiver for Minnesota, which I believe was number 8, Amanda Dvorak. We'll take another look here, see if it was deflected. I think that was just thrown a little bit behind her.
Yeah, it looks like it may have slipped out of the hands a little bit. Erin Kelly, who's been so precise on offense all season long, throwing the ball, came out as a bit of a duck, if you will.
Now it's 3rd and long. So here you go for Tampa. 9 minutes to go in the first half. We're in the second quarter. It's a 3rd and long, 3rd and 10. If they can get a stop here, get a little bit of momentum.
And get some pretty good field position on a punt return as well. And it's a handoff, no play action. Erin Kelly with time, launches one down the field and looking for Jackie Radford, who hauls in the catch just over the 50-yard line. Radford has been everywhere.
Jackie Radford is a problem. And let's start here with the quarterback on the play action. And how about the arm? Slinging it for over 30 yards, and you have 2 defenders on Radford. It's not like Tampa did a bad job on coverage. They were there. Radford just making a better play.
And Ray Jefferson now picks up a couple of yards before being wrapped up. But Jackie Radford, a Swiss Army knife, like you said, Ben, put it perfectly. She's used all over the offense. The offense runs through her. And Radford, who has also been a member of this team for 5 years, her and Erin Kelly have developed quite the chemistry over the last half decade, and you are seeing it here as they are picking apart this Tampa Bay Inferno defense.
And you got to give credit to Kelly also for having the wherewithal to find her and get that ball down the field. It's not easy. That was a great throw and a great catch and a big-time play there for Minnesota. And it's easy to see why this is a 4-1 ball club coming into this game.
And Kelly, who threw for just 83 yards, she was 7 for 23 through the air with a big bounce-back game. Takes in the shotgun set, throws it over to the right side, and it is dropped right at the sideline. That's number 12, Slovak Lundberg, who was unable to haul in the pass that came in a bit low. Lundberg with a touchdown in this one, as well as Amanda Dvorak and Jackie Radford with a couple of her own.
And here we go again, a 3rd and 10 now, so another opportunity for Tampa to try to get off the field on defense.
Well, if you're Tampa Bay, something that was emphasized in the beginning of the game was getting to the quarterback, making Erin Kelly feel uncomfortable, and they have been unable to do that so far. We gave props to the Tampa Bay Inferno offensive line, but how about Minnesota?
Here's Radford right there at the top of your screen.
Radford set up, bunched up. A high snap, corralled by Kelly, throws over to the left side, picked up by the tight end. It's Eddie Halverson. Halverson rumbling and stumbling over the 10-yard line and brought down, or excuse me, over the 30-yard line and brought down just shy of the 25, and it's a first down for the Vixen.
Well, Halverson presents a very big target for Kelly, 5'11", and you could see why, rumbling something like you said, but nobody on the perimeter, nobody on the sideline to push her out of bounds, and that's over 25 yards of a pass play, of a gain here. And just so you get back-to-back 3rd and 10, 3rd and long here for Tampa to get off the field. Instead, now they're deep in their own territory.
Well, this defense needed to create 3 and outs. That's what head coach Lori Johnson said. It was one of our keys to the game. Erin Kelly under center hasn't done that a lot. It's a jet sweep over to who else but Jackie Radford. Radford breaks a tackle, gets swarmed up, and finally taken down after about a 5-yard gain.
And we've talked about ad nauseum that you could line her up in different spots. We have a flag here, so it looks like it could be an illegal shift. So it's a break that Tampa does catch because it was a big gain there for Minnesota, but this one's coming back.
Well, how about Tampa Bay's defense, who is really being tested here? They have been out on the field for a majority of this game. No help from the offense either. A couple of turnovers in their own side of the field. And it looks like we have perhaps another timeout being called here. No, just getting reset after the penalty.
Yeah, it was an illegal shift after the gain, so that's going to be 1st and about 13 yards. Tampa will take it, obviously. Clock continues to roll here in the 2nd quarter. But there's another opportunity here, Giuseppe, for them to get a stop here and try to get off the field on defense, try to get the ball back to their offense and see if they can do anything.
Well, the Vixen have been so far effortlessly putting the ball through the air. They've had some trouble establishing a ground game. And we'll see here on a 1st and about 13, like you said, Ben. Keep it in the air. Kelly drops back, fires over the middle, nobody home.
Yeah, looking again for Halverson, but she was bottled up that time by 3 Tampa defenders, so there wasn't a lot of space for Kelly to fit that football through. And now you stop the clock with 6:06, and you bring up a 2nd, and it looks like 13, 14 yards.
And we have to see how Tampa Bay wants to play this defensively, because if you want to send pressure, you need to make sure you have your defensive backs and safeties over the middle. But if you want to give Erin Kelly time, it's proved to be costly so far. And it looks like we have another timeout on the field, so we'll throw it over to a break. Minnesota knocking on the door once again. Does Tampa Bay have an answer on defense? You're watching WFA football right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now's your chance to score a touchdown with Varsity Media's ISO video. Video footage that focuses on your athlete only. Perfect for recruiting reels. Spots are limited, so reach out today. Email jeff@varsitymedia.net to book your next ISO video with Varsity Media.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media @varsitymedia.
Well, the Vixen up 28-0 on the Inferno. We thank you for tuning in, and we thank you to our sponsors.
Yeah, I want to thank Urban E Recycling and BMP Studio, 2 of our sponsors for the Inferno. They thank our sponsors for a great season.
And a great season it has been, not just for the WFA, for all of Varsity Media and what we've been able to accomplish so far. And just like what the Inferno have been able to accomplish in their 15th season in the league. Erin Kelly in the shotgun set, play action, screenplay for number 12, Solveig Lundberg. Lundberg up the middle, lunges forward, has another first down.
Nice job by Lundberg. She comes back to the football and then creates a little bit of momentum and gets out. You're going to see a replay here. And here she is as she comes back this way, and then she goes that way, covering a lot of ground there for close to a first down.
And for Minnesota, just establishing so much space on this field. They have the Inferno going east to west so much on defense right now. They keep on finding an open pocket and a fresh set of downs, knocking on the door once again. The Inferno looking to just get off of the field to make some sort of stop. After their opening drive 3 and out for Minnesota, they found the end zone. It looks like they're going to have a free play here, throwing it over to the end zone, and it is broken up. A great play defensively by the Inferno.
Yeah, great job. I wish we could call out the number, but it's hard to see the uniforms from way up here with the sun. Maybe got away with an offsides there, but just great blanket coverage, gets a hand up, knocks the ball away, and that's what you want to see on a one-on-one situation.
Looks like that may have been number 20, Jade Jordan.
And Jordan, we haven't seen her number, but she's been involved today with her coverage. She has been fantastic.
Well, the best time a cornerback is playing is when you don't call their number. That means they've been blanketing their receiver all game long. And for Jade Jordan, first time she's been tested, she's 1 for 1 in those tests. Hand off to Jackie Radford. Radford evades a tackle, bounces it to the outside, throws a stiff arm wrapped up, taken down just at about the 15-yard line.
Radford breaking up not 1 but 2 tackles. You're going to see this replay here. Now she's a running back. That's the first broken tackle. Here comes the second broken tackle, and then she's got the speed there. So it took 3 Tampa Bay defenders to get her down.
Radford has been all over the field in this one. In motion once again, going from right to left. Ray Jefferson in the backfield. Jefferson has picked up short but steady gains. Kelly drops back to pass. As a running back out in the flats, looks like it may have been the tight end, excuse me, as she's brought down. That's Sam Anderson, the tight end.
Yeah, I think Anderson's first reception of the day from Bloomington, Minnesota at 5'9". So they have some nice tight end weapons here, does Minnesota.
And Minnesota so far certainly spreading the wealth. We've seen catches from Lundberg, Radford, Dvorak, now Eddie Halverson and Sam Anderson joining in on the fun, not to mention Ray Jefferson, who's been getting a steady diet of handoffs up the middle so far in this one. 4 minutes left to go. It's a 28-0 lead for the Vixen, knocking on the door of Tampa Bay to jump into the 30-point mark. As we mentioned before, they've scored 50 points or 50 more points in 3 of their 5 games so far. Kelly drops back, fires one into the end zone, and it is incomplete as Tampa Bay survives one other play. Erin Kelly, and pass that evades, looks like the hands of Jackie Radford as she's the last one back to the huddle. And the Inferno looking to bend but not break, and another timeout is called on the play. And Tampa Bay's defense really just looking to make a key stop, something they haven't been able to do yet all game long. Minnesota, on the other hand, they've forced a couple of turnovers. 1 fumble, 1 interception have both led to touchdowns. And for the Inferno, really looking to make their statement on defense as well.
Well, we thank you for watching here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And if you like what you've seen, if you like the production, we would like to tell you a little bit more how you could reach us, how you could book a sportscast or a production, a live stream with Varsity Media. And there you see the image right there. So it's a great way to keep your fans, keep your community connected, and it's very, very easy to hire Varsity Media by contacting Ben at varsitymedia.net, and you see the phone number also on the screen, 516-403-2050. You could get Giuseppe Oliveri on your games. You might get me on your games with the graphics, a little telestrator action, our phenomenal director, Chris Sweeney. So if you like what you see, you like the production, give us a call and find out how we can promote your squad.
Any sport you need, our first ever time covering the WFA, and it's been a treat so far. Minnesota back out on offense following the timeout. 3 minutes and 43 seconds until halftime. And the Inferno looking to put a stop to this offensive parade of the Vixen. Handoff up the middle for Ray Jefferson. Jefferson finds a hole, gets a few yards before she's taken down on the play as the clock continues to run in the second quarter.
That was third down, so now it's going to bring up fourth. I think Tampa's going to call another timeout here. Then clock stops, so they're looking to get the football back here. Obviously, Minnesota's going to go for it. Why wouldn't you? It's 4th and 2 from the 5 or 6 yard line. So this is a very big play. You don't want to go into the locker room at halftime down 35-0. If they can get the ball back, maybe offensively get into the end zone. Could be a difference here of 35-0 or 28-7.
Well, the Inferno so far have certainly played uncomfortable with their back against their own end zone. They've suffered a fumble loss, and they've also thrown an interception. So even if the Minnesota Vixen can cash in here, they're set up in extremely well territory on defense to get the ball back.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're obviously going for it here. There's no reason not to.
Minnesota breaks the huddle. About 3 yards from the end zone.
Radford is right here, as you see top of your screen. Keep an eye on her. They love to go to her in these situations.
It's a handoff right back up the middle. Ray Jefferson at the goal line, awaiting a signal. That's as close as you can get. Looks like she's going to be held up just short. And the Tampa Bay Inferno hold their ground.
No, I think it's enough for a first. I think she didn't get in the end zone, but I think they picked up a first. Because I think it was a short yards until they didn't. I think she's in, though. It looked like she scored.
Looks like it, but there was no official signal from the officials. And yeah, you're right, Ben. A fresh set of downs for Minnesota.
First and goal, but no touchdown.
Erin Kelly under center. She's going to take it herself. Kelly is in for the touchdown. And Minnesota now breaks the 30-point mark. Erin Kelly doing it all. A couple of passing touchdowns. And now in on her own. And the Inferno so close, yet so far. And we are awaiting an extra point that would make it, or excuse me, looks like they may. Yes, awaiting the extra point to make it a 35-0 ball game. The Inferno will get the ball back with 2.5 minutes left, but Minnesota has had all the right answers so far. The extra point is up. It is good. Minnesota out 35-0. Giuseppe Oliveri, Ben Turchin, thanking you for joining us. We're going to go to a quick break as the Inferno get the ball back on offense on the other side of it. Don't go anywhere. You're watching WFA football right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This city's had its champions.
And history is made in Tampa tonight.
Now we're coming for what's ours. We're the hit you didn't see coming. We're the voice in your head saying, they never let up. We're the ones still standing in the fourth.
1, 2, 3, power!
Focus, discipline, finish. It's what we do.
Let's go!
They said this game wasn't built for us. That we're just women playing a man's sport. But when we take the field, we're done being just anything. You in, or will you be left behind?
$35-0. The Minnesota Vixen looking for their 5th win of the season. The Tampa Bay Inferno in their home finale looking to give their fans something to cheer about. Their setup just shy of their own 40-yard line. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin thanking you wherever you may be tuning in as we're live from sunny Tampa Bay, Florida. The Inferno looking to get on the scoreboard as Minnesota has jumped out to a 35-0 lead. They've done it a bunch of different ways. Points off of turnovers, points off of long runs, and points on points on points for this Vixen team. And they are no stranger to it, averaging 41 points per game. They've scored 50 or more points in 3 of their 5 games up until this point. This is game number 6 for the Vixen of Minnesota. And Octavia Lowell in the shotgun set with a couple of running backs to both sides of her.
Well, the goal here for Tampa, do not give the football back to Minnesota. They're going deep.
Well, there's one out. Has a receiver and just out of the outstretched arms of number 88, Meg Joyce. The first time we've seen her targeted today.
Joyce at 5'3", has the speed, living in Tampa, Florida. And Lowell, that's a good-looking throw. She had time in the pocket. The offensive line did a nice job. And it just wasn't able to be corralled there by Joyce. But that was a great-looking play and a nice play design by Tampa.
Well, how about this? The two receiving leaders in yards for the Tampa Bay Inferno, Meg Joyce with 59 yards. And coming in second, Octavia Lowell, 57 yards receiving through the air. As she has really had to adjust to playing quarterback here, and a really nice throw. Now it's a handoff up the middle. Here comes Tia Holmes. Bounces one towards the outside, taken down after about a 4-yard gain. And Tampa Bay once again finds themselves in a 3rd and long situation.
And I think Minnesota here is going to get a timeout. I know I saw the referees waving their hands. I don't know if it's a measurement thing or if they're going to try to get the football back here. That's what we talked about. Don't give them the football back. You don't want to put a 42 number going into halftime. But with the 3rd and long here coming up for Tampa, clock is stopped. So it looks like Minnesota did indeed call a timeout here.
Yeah, minute 58 seconds left. Why not? They can run just short of a 2-minute drill if they're able to stop Tampa Bay here. And they've been able to stop the Inferno well so far. Tampa Bay, as the game has gone on, has slowly but surely gotten more comfortable, but still nowhere where they need to be if they want to keep up with the high-flying offense of the Minnesota Vixen. And Tampa Bay, a team that does not put the ball through the air, has now gotten a couple of nice throws from Octavia Lowell, and Meg Joyce, the latest recipient of a good ball, unable to haul in what could have been a house call. She had her cornerback beat by a couple of steps.
Strategy-wise here, I can't remember top of my head if that was the 3rd or 2nd timeout call by Minnesota. So Tampa, I would think, would want to keep the ball on the ground here just in case there is no more timeouts left and let the clock run. And also, if it's 4th and 2, 4th and 1, I think you go for it here if you're Tampa. So let's see what they elect to do here on 3rd down. It's about 3rd and 6 right now here from the 44-yard line.
We'll see. Octavia Lowell under center in the I formation. Minnesota showing pressure. It's a pitch to the outside. Akaya Taylor makes a woman miss. Spins. Has some room, now being wrapped up and swarmed. Finally gets brought down just shy of the 50-yard line. Looks a bit short of the sticks. And we'll see what Tampa Bay will do as the clock continues to run. Minnesota out of timeouts.
No, I think they are not out of timeouts, actually. As you said that, we got the timeout call. So I think that is their last one, G. I believe that to be their last one. But the damage is done. They got the clock to stop. Now it's 4th down. Now here we go strategy. If you're Tampa, do you go for it here? I think you do. I think you go for it. If you get the 1st down, then I think you go into the locker room and Minnesota won't see the ball. But obviously on the other side, if you don't get it, they're going to get the ball at midfield.
I think the big question to ask is how gassed is your defense right now for Tampa Bay? Because if you go for this and don't get it, now Minnesota, the offense that has been clicking on all cylinders, is going to only have to go half the length of the field, a little less. And an Inferno defense that has been hung out to dry all game long. And they just got off the field not that long ago. We'll see what Tampa Bay draws up, however. They're just about 2 or 3 yards short of the sticks. Minnesota, we'll see if they want to bring the pressure, if the Inferno will like to go for it.
To me, a minute 37, if you punt the football away, Minnesota's shown that they can get up the field. They could throw the ball sideline, stop the clock. It looks like they're going to come out and punt, but I think I would go for it here. Actually, they are going to go for it.
And as Octavia Lowell under center, we'll see if it's just to perhaps draw them off sides if Tampa Bay has any timeouts remaining. They snap the ball, pitch to the outside, Akaya Taylor. Taylor with a burst of speed has the 1st down a little more and brought down right about the 45-yard line. And Tampa Bay will have a fresh set of downs with a minute and a half left to go.
I love the call. Dixon, number 30 for Minnesota with the tackle here on this play, but not before the 1st down. So it was an aggressive call, but I think it was the right call. And now who knows? You're inside Minnesota territory. Maybe Tampa gets on the board here.
Well, for 1 minute and 30 seconds left.
And now we're going backwards. And it's 4th down all over again. So there must have been a penalty that we missed.
Must have been a penalty on the play. And now you have no choice but to punt it.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a holding call there or what. It was. They brought him back pretty far. I don't know if it was a personal foul or what the call was. We missed that call. But now you're right. Now they have to punt the football. Just as they had a nice run, now they're going to have to punt.
And they have to hurry here. Waving players on the field want to make sure they're able to get the playoff in time. As the Vixen are going to have the ball with about a minute and a half left to go. And this is a big punt coming up here for the Inferno. Candace Brady punts it up and away.
A nice bounce for Tampa Bay, bobbled, and Britt Peterson evades a tackle with the spin, now bounces it to the right side. Patient waiting for blockers, and Peterson brought down at her own 40-yard line, turns nothing into something. And with 1:14 left to go, Erin Kelly trots back out onto the field, leading this Minnesota offense to put up any more points they can with 1:15 left to go.
Well, I'll tell you, one player on Tampa that has given her all game long has been Jennifer Marshall, number 4, with the tackle there on that special teams play from the Fort Benning, Georgia. We mentioned that the only player not from Tampa, number 4 for the black and red, and we're going to get a replay here. Keep an eye on number 4, middle of the field, chasing down the returner. Look at that speed. Just a really heads-up play to bring her down at the 40-yard line.
Able to fight off that block as well. And now Minnesota gets set. Let's see what they can draw up here. Out of timeouts, 1:15 left to go. All alone in the backfield. Nope, and there's Ray Jefferson, excuse me, set up right behind her. Erin Kelly in the shotgun set. Has time, fires to her right side. That is caught and out of bounds. Is who else but Jackie Radford. Radford all over the field in this one so far. And that sets up Minnesota at the 50-yard line. Clock still running, 56 seconds left to go and counting. Minnesota up 35-0, looking for any more points. Kelly drops back, pressure, throws over to the right side. It is caught. And no, they're going to say the ball was not hauled in time, as Radford was the target again. But at the very least for the Vixen, that stops the clock and they can draw up a new play. Put some time back up on the clock. 48 seconds left to go in the first half. The Vixen up 35-0. Erin Kelly with 3 passing touchdowns under her belt already gets the play call as she huddles back to, she jogs back to the huddle. The Inferno looking for a stop on defense. They forced a 3-and-out the first drive of the game for Minnesota, but since then the Vixen have been all over the Inferno, scoring on every single drive they've had. Kelly drops back, has some time, fires up over the middle, looking for a deep shot, but that's overthrown the head of Sloveg Lundberg. That takes some time off the clock. 40 seconds left now, bringing it back up to 42.
Yeah, you can see Minnesota's taking shots down the field. They want to get one more score in before halftime. That one just sailed too far.
Yeah, this is already 3rd down for the Vixen. And we'll see how they want to play it here. They have no more timeouts left.
Yeah, I think they're going to go down the field again. I think they're going to look to score. If not, they'll punt it away back to Tampa. And they're very content, obviously, going at halftime up 35-0.
Nobody would ever turn that down. And the Vixen doing what they do so well, attacking through the air. And once again, they go to that 3-receiver bunch set on the left side. All alone on the right is the tight end, Eddie Halverson. Kelly looking left, fires, and it is caught by Jackie Radford, and she gets out of bounds. It's a first down for the Vixen. And Minnesota with another answer.
And in that bunch set is where she comes free. You're going to see her top of your screen there. She was one of the 3 in the set, and she broke loose for a first down and stopping the clock at about the 35-yard line.
25 seconds left to go in the half. At the very least, the Vixen find themselves in field goal range. They put some time back up on the clock. 32 seconds now as Erin Kelly gets the play as she slowly but surely talking it over.
And if you're Tampa, you desperately need to stop Minnesota. You cannot give up another touchdown here with 30 seconds to go at the 35-yard line and no timeouts for Minnesota. You have to do anything you can to prevent them from getting into the end zone.
It has been a tough showing for both the offensive and defensive side of the ball for Tampa Bay. They were driving with just about a minute left to go in this half, but a penalty offset what would have been a first down gain, and the Inferno were forced to punt it away. Kelly takes the snap. Inferno bringing the pressure, but they're blocked up at the line. Kelly has room. She's going to take it herself. Here comes Erin Kelly getting to the sideline at the 20-yard line, just shy of it, as the clock will stop, and the Vixen marching down the field.
Yeah, if you're Tampa, you want to keep the offensive players on the field. Don't let them get to the perimeter. Don't let them stop the clock. But that time, Kelly just doing a great job, great athletic play, and a heads-up play by her. She was able to find the sideline to stop the clock and pick up a first down.
Minnesota is a team that has really had their way all season long offensively. We read you some of their final scores earlier in this broadcast, but 62 points, 58 points, 56 points, 27 points even in week 1. They only put up 7 last week in their first loss of the season. That was to the St. Louis Slam. Kelly finds Jackie Radford over the middle. Radford with just one defender to beat, wasn't able to beat her. No timeouts left. The clock is running.
I think it's Lundberg, number 12, on the reception there.
Or excuse me, number 12,
Solveig Lundberg.
Solveig Lundberg.
Yeah, but that great play by Kelly. I mean, here we go again, right in the middle of your screen, a quick pass, breaking tackles, but a touchdown-saving tackle there by the safety.
And that is number 1, looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Bree Roberts.
Bree Roberts playing on both sides of the ball today. And with just 15 seconds left, Minnesota and Tampa Bay both talking it over. The Vixen in field goal range. We'll see what they elect to do. But as of right now, they've been able to march down the field, have their way with the Inferno. No reason they shouldn't be thinking 6 here.
Yeah, it's right now you have to think that Minnesota has a very good chance to get in the end zone here. So Tampa Bay really has to buckle down and try to prevent them. I mean, they've had their way. Kelly has been able to do it with her feet. She's been able to do it with her arm. And there's a lot of weapons here on this Minnesota team. So which way do they go here for the end zone?
Well, they break out of their respective huddles with 15 seconds left to go. The Vixen lead the Inferno 35-0. We're 15 seconds from halftime, and for the Inferno right now feels like an eternity, I am sure. Minnesota out of their huddle. Erin Kelly has her play call.
Got to find number 81 at all times, Radford, who's down here on the bottom of your screen.
Kelly takes a snap, looks left, fires over the middle, and it is broken up. It was in and out of the hands of Amanda Dvorak, but looks like that a defender certainly got a hand on that ball to make it harder for Dvorak to haul it in.
Might have been Meg Joyce, number 88. Let's take a look at the replay here.
Yeah, looks like that's an 88, Meg Joyce, who has been all over the field, one of our key players in this game today.
A local product from the Tampa area. Standing at 5'3", plays wide receiver on offense and in the secondary on defense. So a nice deflection by Joyce. 9 seconds to go here.
Stops the clock for the Vixen. 9 seconds left. 35-0 lead. Looking for anything else they can get before half. Erin Kelly in the shotgun set. Ray Jefferson behind her. And it's a handoff to Jefferson. Pounding it inside, falling forward just over the 5-yard line. And the clock will run. Ray Jefferson in some pain down low, and with 1 second left on the clock is stopped.
Well, Sheila Rutland, number 9, with the tackle there, and I think it's going to be a touchdown-saving tackle here as we go to the locker room for halftime. From Clearwater, Florida, she went to the High School of Diploma College, and she's 5'4". Also plays running back on the offensive side, but that was a nice tackle by Rutland there. That saved the touchdown.
Jefferson was involved heavily in the first half, not so much in the second half, and finally got a handoff right up the middle, was able to pound her way forward for a few yards. Took a nasty hit, though, as she was spun up. Jefferson right there, breaks one tackle, and then as she was going down, meets a hit as well, and still down in pain, holding her lower back, hoping that she is okay. And she is still down. So we're going to take a step aside as the Vixen will have 1 second left to get a playoff in the first half. It's the Vixen 35, Tampa Bay Inferno nothing. You're watching WFA football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media's been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years.
1 second left from sunny Tampa Bay, Florida, and the Vixen bring out the field goal unit looking to throw 3 more points up on the board. Snap is down, the kick is up, and it is doinked off of the right post and no good. So the Vixen will have to be content with their 35-point lead. I'm sure they are. And the Inferno have some work to do coming out of the first half. Well, Minnesota has been putting the pressure on early in this one. And Erin Kelly, a big thanks to that, finding Slovig Lundberg in the back of the end zone. One of her 3 passing touchdowns on the day. She's also taken it in herself. Erin Kelly has for 4 total touchdowns on the day. We'll take a step aside. It's the Vixen 35. Tampa Bay Inferno nothing. You're watching WFA football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This city's had its champions.
And history is made in Tampa tonight.
Now we're coming for what's ours. We're the hit you didn't see coming. We're the voice in your head saying, they never let up. We're the ones still standing in the fourth.
1, 2, 3, forward!
Focus, discipline, finish. It's what we do.
Let's go!
They said this game wasn't built for us. That we're just women playing a man's sport. But when we take the field, we're done being just anything. You in, or will you be left behind?
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
Well, I've been working with Varsity Media for, 14 years. When we have video needs, whether that be a game, whether that be a practice, whether it be social media, it's nice to know that somebody understands what we're looking for without asking for it.
We started working with Varsity Media back in 2021, and since then they've been an absolute game changer, putting our event on the map. Varsity Media couldn't be a better partner, and if you're looking to optimize your event, I couldn't recommend them anymore.
It's been great for us. You know, the kids really get excited when they know that Varsity Media is going to be here. Not just what's happening on the football field, but all the excitement that's around it. It really boosted the environment here, and everybody gets really excited for what's going on.
Varsity Media is reliable, professional, and their quality work is fantastic. It's like watching ESPN. The announcers are unreal, really do a great job of speaking to the coaches to get the knowledge of the players, the season, what's going on with the team. There is nothing better than Varsity Media doing a live broadcast.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Merrill, he's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the faceoff X3 in a row now.
latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email Ben at varsitymedia.net.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
This city's had its champions.
And history is made in Tampa tonight.
Now we're coming for what's ours. We're the hit you didn't see coming. We're the voice in your head saying, they never let up. We're the ones still standing in the fourth.
1, 2, 3, power!
Focus, discipline, finish. It's what we do.
Let's go!
They said this game wasn't built for us. That we're just women playing a man's sport. But when we take the field, we're done being just anything. You in? Or will you be left behind?
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
Well, I've been working with Varsity Media for, 14 years. When we have video needs, whether that be a game, whether that be a practice, whether it be social media, it's nice to know that somebody understands what we're looking for without asking for it.
We started working with Varsity Media back in 2021, and since then they've been an absolute game changer, putting our event on the map. Varsity Media couldn't be a better partner, and if you're looking to optimize your event, I couldn't recommend them anymore.
It's been great for us. You know, the kids really get excited when they know that Varsity Media is going to be here. Not just what's happening on the football field, but all the excitement that's around it. It really boosts the environment here, and everybody gets really excited for what's going on.
Varsity Media is reliable, professional, and their quality work is fantastic. It's like watching ESPN. The announcers are unreal, really do a great job of speaking to the coaches to get the knowledge of the players, the season, what's going on with the team. There is nothing better than Varsity Media doing a live broadcast.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media @Varsity Media. For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media @Varsity Media. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email ben@varsitymedia.net.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media @Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Second half action from Tampa Bay, Florida, between the Inferno and visiting Minnesota Vixen, who have put their foot down in this one, leading 35-0. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin for WFA action in the Tampa Bay Inferno home finale. And the Vixen, who have been on the prowl offensively, start the second half with the ball as well. Tampa Bay's defense led up 35 points. They were able to have a last-second stand, and Minnesota missed a field goal from short, which would have added 3 more points on, but the Inferno stay in their 35-point hole. And the kickoff is received by Sam Anderson, the tight end. Anderson up the middle, across the 50 to the Inferno 45, and that's where Minnesota will set up shop in the second half.
And when you have tight ends that are returning kickoffs, you know you've got a good squad.
The Hands team, not a very far kickoff. And for Minnesota, you wouldn't know it, but they had some travel issues getting to Tampa Bay. The team's travel plans to Tampa impacted by flight cancellations. 12 to 15 players and coaches did not land in Tampa Bay until after midnight before the day of game. So they landed about 1, 2 a.m. in the morning before today's game. But how they're playing right now, you would not be able to tell. They have been firing on all cylinders, and number 10 in white under center in the shotgun set for this play, Aaron Kelly, who has been one of the best quarterbacks in the league so far, and showing it here now. It's a handoff up the middle for Ray Jefferson, who stumbles forward for a few yards before being taken down. Jefferson suffered an injury at the end of the first half. Wasn't sure if we were going to see her, but she was able to shake it off, and she's okay for the second half. And Minnesota has been dominating through the air. Aaron Kelly with 3 passing touchdowns, 1 to 3 different receivers, Amanda Dvorak, Slovak Lundberg, and Jackie Radford. And Radford has stole the show in this one. A rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown. She's found the open spots, and there's an injury on the field. And we're going to take a second to thank our sponsors once again, Urban E-Recycling and BMP Studio.
Tampa wants to thank their sponsors for helping have a successful season this year, helping put the broadcast together as well. Urban E-Recycling, BMP Studio, thank you for all your support.
And for Tampa Bay, they may be done at home after this game, but they head over to D.C. against the Divas. And an important game for Tampa Bay. They lost 26-20 earlier in the season against D.C., but that's the game where head coach Lori Johnson said she saw the belief in her team's eyes, and they had true unity for the first time on the field in the locker room. And that's the first complete game Johnson says she feels her team has played as they look for revenge, this time heading to the nation's capital against the Divas. But first they need to climb out of a 35-0 deficit against the Minnesota Vixen, who have done nothing but put pressure on. And Aaron Kelly in the shotgun set once again. Minnesota kept it on the ground the first time. Looks like they may elect to put it in the air here. That they do. Kelly drops back, looks to her right, and it's intercepted by Tampa Bay. Here they come down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch her to the 20, 10, and she is in for the touchdown. The Tampa Bay Inferno get themselves on the board.
I believe it's Amia Baker, number 26 from Brandon, Florida. As we take another look, she's at the top of your screen. She's going to anticipate this throw. Here she is right here. And it was deflected, actually. It was off the fingertips of the receiver. And check out the speed, Giuseppe. Nobody around. She flies down the field for the interception, pick 6.
Off of the hands of Jackie Radford. A difficult pass to haul in, but you needed a shot in the arm if you were Tampa Bay, and that will surely do it. For Tampa Bay, a team that has really been trying to get back into this one. That's just their second interception of the season, their third turnover. It was Andrea Wells who had the other interception, and the kick is up and good. So Tampa Bay on the board. They trail 35-7. We'll take a step aside. Don't go anywhere. You're watching WFA football here from the Varsity Sports Media Network.
Barrel, he's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off X 3 in a row now.
(35-7) is your score from Tampa Bay, Florida. Giuseppe Oliveri, Ben Turchin, pleased to be joined by you wherever you may be tuning into this WFA action. It's week 6 and the kickoff return for Minnesota. Here they come the other way with speed, has blocks to the outside, and the Vixen are going to be set up in outstanding territory. And they are looking to get those 7 points right back. They're set up in great field position, just shy of the Inferno red zone by about 10 to 15 yards.
That was Caitlin Hove, number 18, at 5'7", from Bloomington, Minnesota, with the return there on the kickoff. And she's got Minnesota in good field position here in Tampa territory.
Well, Tampa Bay looking to get back into it, and as you see, some of the interior linemen, we want to highlight number 60, Teria Smith. She is tough to get around. She's been a real reason why Minnesota has not been able to get a ground game going. She clogs the middle better than anybody, and you can tell by her size, she is tough to block.
Right there you see her right there.
So the Vixen, after throwing an interception, how do they respond? Jackie Radford on the end around. Stiff arm, gets by one defender and another, finally wrapped up by behind, but Radford will get about 6 yards on the carry.
I like the effort on the part of Camille Brugnara at 5'4", the linebacker from Tampa, because the stiff arm, I believe, was against her, but she had the wherewithal to stick with it and make the tackle. And so a never give up attitude right there by the defender for Tampa. We'll take another look at it. Let's see if 15 gets stiff armed. I believe, yeah, that's her getting the stiff arm, but then she comes back to make the tackle, Giuseppe. So again, that shows you toughness and fight.
That's a true passion that Tampa Bay needs to show. Down 35-7. RPO throw over the middle behind her receiver. Looks like it was Radford again who couldn't corral the pass. That was about a yard or two behind her. A tough play for Radford, who's cutting to the middle of the field. Erin Kelly throws that ball a bit behind her.
And because of the incompletion, it's going to be 3rd and about 3. So some opportunity here on the defensive side to make a stop, and then Minnesota will have to think about what they want to do.
Well, the Inferno have their points on defense off of a pick 6. And looking to make another stop. The defense was shored up a little bit at the end of that first half. They bended, did not break, and it's mid-third down coming up for Minnesota. Erin Kelly in the shotgun waves Jefferson out. All alone has Jefferson. That pass is deflected, and it's incomplete again. Tampa Bay's defense does their job, and decision time for head coach Connor Joe Lewis and the Vixen.
Mariah Taylor, Turner, number 47. She gets her hand on it for the deflection as they tried to go again to the tailback. But again, Tampa, I don't know what was said in the locker room, but we've seen some great defense here early on in the third quarter.
And that may come with experience playing in Tampa with the hot weather, having better conditioning than the other team. And Erin Kelly trotting back out. They will be going for it here. 4th and short by about 3 yards. And for the Inferno, if they can get a stop here, all of a sudden they can perhaps put together something on offense. And 14 unanswered out of the half. That would be good, but first they need the stop. Erin Kelly and Jefferson, an extra pressure. Blocker. Throwing it over to the right side. It is hauled in. First down and more for the Vixen. It is once again Slovak Lundberg who keeps the drive alive for the Vixen.
Got to be so impressed with Kelly and her quarterback play. They come in with a blitz, does Tampa, and she feels the pressure. She waits for the rush, and then she finds her open receiver, Lundberg, who does the rest for the first down. But that was all started with the quarterback from Minnesota.
And Ray Jefferson picking up the chip block there, or Erin Kelly would have been dead to rights in her own backfield. Fresh set of downs for Minnesota on about the 18-yard line, looking to cash in. Kelly, handoff to Jefferson up the middle. Jefferson plows over a defender, 5 yards on the pickup for number 34. Well, we mentioned Ray Jefferson compared to Le'Veon Bell by our head coach, Connor Joe Lewis, in the first half. But she was also compared to a basketball player, Luka Doncic, for, and I quote, her ability to control tempo and create opportunities through anticipation and her feel for the game. And we have another injured player, this time on defense for the Inferno. And Minnesota will talk it over. We'll take a step aside. Minnesota knocking on the door. Does Tampa have an answer? You're watching WFAA football right here on Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now's your chance to score a touchdown with Varsity Media's ISO video. Video footage that focuses on your athlete only. Perfect for recruiting reels. Spots are limited, so reach out today. Email jeff@varsitymedia.net to book your next ISO video with Varsity Media.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media @varsitymedia. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media @VarsityMedia.
35-7 ball game from sunny Tampa Bay, Florida. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin. Pleased to be joined by you wherever you may be getting your Varsity Media Sports Network action from. A little different today, professional football, the WFA. Play action, and it's an incomplete pass over to the left side. Erin Kelly looking in the direction of her tight end. Or excuse me, her wide receiver, number 81, Jackie Radford, who's been all over the field today.
Yeah, and we talked about Camille Brugnaro before, and she had her hands there. She got involved for the deflection. The linebacker at 5'4" from Tampa, and now we've got, I believe, a second and long after that defensive play. So Tampa, give them credit. They've had some nice defensive plays here to start the third quarter.
Well, they had a pick six for about 70 yards, and on a 4th and short, they gave up a medium-sized play, but it gave Minnesota a fresh set of downs. And Erin Kelly in the shotgun set. She's operating out of the shotgun for a majority of the plays today. Very few under center. Radford in motion from left to right. Looking her way, Radford open, overshoots her. No, she doesn't. Radford with the catch, and she lunges forward, waiting on a signal for the officials. Looks like she may be marked short.
Yeah, they're going to call her down at the 1-yard line, but just an outstanding effort by the wide receiver. She has been the best player on the field all game long, I think. You know, you saw the surge towards the goal line, but they said no. Radford at 5'10" is a nice target.
And Radford calls her own number again. She is in. Touchdown number 5 on the day for Radford. 3 passing, a couple of rushing, both quarterback sneaks at the goal line. And Minnesota, they keep their foot on the gas. How do they respond to throwing a pick six? They drive down the field, they convert a 4th down, and they find the end zone once again.
Yeah, Kelly has been very successful on the 1-yard runs, goal line runs. She can do it like you said, Giuseppe. She could run, she could throw. Her and Radford have been a tough out today for Tampa.
And the extra point, no good to the right. 41-7 is your score. Vixen lead it. We'll take a step aside. Don't go anywhere. You're watching WFA football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
We're back live from Tampa Bay, Florida. Return out for the Inferno brings it out to their own 40-yard line as the offense setting up shop for the first time in the second half. Well, stop me if you heard this one before. The Minnesota Vixen found the end zone. It's 41-7, and we may have another injured player on the field. And the Vixen so well offensively. They have hit over the 50-point mark 3 times in this season, and they're 9 points away from doing it a 4th in 6 games. Unprecedented territory, and there is another injured player on the field. There's been a handful of them so far in this Tampa Bay Inferno game, but that gives both sides a breather and able to talk over what their game plan is going to be. In the Inferno, they have to crawl out of a hole they have not crawled out of yet this season. And for a team that has lost back-to-back one-possession games, they lost a 1-point game against Pittsburgh last week. They had a chance to win it. It was the final play of the game. They went for a 2-point conversion rather than tying the game on the extra point. They did not get it. Lost that game 27-26 in the old stopping grounds of the Tampa Bay head coach Lori Johnson, where she played wide receiver for those Pittsburgh Passion in the Steel City. But down 41-7, and the Minnesota Vixen with their foot on the gas, getting ready for just another game, and they're talking over their game plan. But for the Vixen, they have done nearly everything right. For the Inferno, they have done nearly everything wrong. Looking to put together some sort of offensive drive, however, and find the end zone for the first time on the offensive side of the ball.
And Giuseppe, right now, as we're in an injury timeout, we're starting to see some of the players maybe cramping because of the heat. You know, this is where hydration becomes such a key element as we get later on to these games. Got to make sure you're getting your fluids in you. Because we have seen this a couple of times here already in the second half, and we just started the second half. Cramping seems to be an issue.
Well, Minnesota has spread the ball around for all of their touchdowns so far. Erin Kelly has called her number a few times. Slovak Lundberg has gotten in on the action. Amanda Dvorak, 1 reception, but it was for a touchdown. Jackie Radford with a couple of touchdowns. Eddie Alverson and Sam Anderson all touching the ball in this one so far on offense. They've spread the wealth. And they've spread it well. And here comes Tampa Bay's offense. A run-first team down 41-7. And we'll see how much fight they have left in them in the second half. Octavia Law in the shotgun set. Running backs to her left and to her right. Minnesota brings the pressure. Handoff to Tia Holmes, and she's wrapped up in the backfield again. And it's the same old story for Tampa Bay. And Tia Holmes nowhere to go. Octavia Lowell getting her play call, and the Tampa Bay Inferno looking to close out their home opener on a positive note, but it's been anything but that so far in this one. 1-3 record on the season. Their only win came in week 2, where they were able to defeat the Mile High Denver team. Second and long, here's the play. Octavia Lowell takes the shotgun pass, looking for a deep ball, and it is underthrown and dropped. Looks like it may have been deflected.
Yeah, I think it might have. I think you're right. I think it did get deflected by one of the Minnesota defensive back players. Nice effort there by Lowell, dropping back. Good protection in the pocket. And yes, it was deflected.
Well, she was looking for Bree Roberts, number 1, who's been on all over the ball on the defensive side of the ball. Looking to make her impact on offense, has yet to do that. It was Sophie Colhane breaking up that pass. And for Tampa Bay, they have not been able to get much going on offense. 3rd and 10 already. Everything probably 4-down territory for Tampa. Octavia Lowell takes the snap, rolls out right. A designed run, she keeps it now, pitches it behind her, and Akaya Taylor stopped right where Octavia Lowell would have been stopped. In decision time for Lori Johnson in this Inferno offense. Lowell trotting right back out there. Looks like they will be going for it on this 4th down.
Well, you only have so many more possessions in this game as the clock continues to roll. We'll be at 9 minutes in the 3rd quarter. I mean, you're not going to have that many more chances, and down 41-7, you need every opportunity possible. So, yeah, they haven't had a lot of success on 3rd and longs and 4th and longs, but you got to have it here.
Well, we're going to have to wait again. Lowell made her way off the field.
I actually think they're going to punt the football here.
It will be punting. Maybe get creative with the fake. If you're feeling confident in your team, a high snap, and it is a fake. They're going to just throw it out of bounds. Maybe that play was just blown up. I think that punt would have been blocked. So not a drawn keeper there, but for Tampa Bay now, when it rains, it pours, and it has been pouring on them.
Take another look at that. I think it was a high snap, which caused the punter to kind of roll to her right and then have no chance, but no option other. Yeah, so the snap was high, and she rolls to her right, and then nothing doing there, so just throws the football away, which was the smart play. Like you said, I think could have been blocked. So.
And then now the Vixens setting up on the 41-yard line of Tampa Bay, and they have been no stranger to the end zone so far.
Yeah, look, if you're Minnesota, you're 4-1, you're about to improve to 5-1. You know, I think you want to run the football here. You don't want to risk any injuries here in the second half. You've had some cramping issues for a couple of players. I would expect them to put the ball on the ground here and head home with the victory.
For the sake of Tampa Bay, they certainly hope so. And it is a handoff up the middle. And going nowhere on the play, stopped very quickly, was number 19 for Minnesota.
Okay, right now you see the clock continue to roll here as we approach 8 minutes to go. I think Minnesota will be content, maybe a couple first downs, kill a little bit of the clock. I don't know if you need any more points, Giuseppe, when you put up 41.5. I don't know how many more you need.
Well, they've put up as high as 62, and that came back in week 2. And if things stay the same, they may be hitting the 70 mark in this one. Well, under center, or excuse me, in the shotgun set is Erin Kelly. And she's passing under pressure. Kelly to her right, and that pass is too high for Amanda Dvorak, and that will once again stop the clock. 7 minutes, 50 seconds left to go. It's a 41-7 lead for the Vixen.
And Dvorak was there. She had room. She had space. She could have potentially gotten the first down. I just think they couldn't get the ball there. Wasn't successful. Incomplete pass.
And for the Inferno, just looking for any kind of stop they can get. Outside of the pick six, it has not been a fun game if you are wearing black and playing for Tampa Bay. And the Vixen talking it over and breaks the huddle.
Let's go, pick that ball, let's go, pick it!
Erin Kelly, shotgun, as she's been in so many times so far in this game. Pressure coming for Tampa Bay. Kelly throwing, looks right over the head of her tight end, almost intercepted. Eddie Halverson couldn't hang on. It was off of her left hand, and it's another stop. 4th down coming up for Minnesota. And we'll see what they want to do here as we take another look at the play.
Going to get a replay here. Anna Rayans-Castro, the linebacker at 5'4" from Tampa, another local product here. Opportunity for a pick, and these are the kind of opportunities that I think Coach will tell her players, hey, when the ball's in your hands, we need that. You got to grab it because that's a turnover going the other way.
Minnesota will punt it, looking to pin the Inferno deep in their own territory. And the kick is away, and it's a good one. Oh, and someone just got sat down. And a return for Meg Joyce. Joyce bounces it to the outside. She has some room to run now. Meg Joyce with a stiff arm and gets a positive gain, stepping out of bounds just past the 30-yard line. And Octavia Lowell and this Inferno offense right back out on the field. Well, 7 minutes, 31 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter of this game. The Inferno down 41-7 as they're drawing out their game plan, what their script may look like here in the 3rd quarter. But as of right now, it's been all Vixen.
I think if you're Tampa, you're trying to see what can we draw up here. Can we get a drive? You had mentioned their score came on the defensive end. We haven't seen much from them offensively. What are some of the better plays that have worked for them during the season? And let's see what they've got in store for us here in the midway through the 3rd quarter.
Octavia Lowell in the shotgun set. It's been the same formation for most of the game. And it's a handoff to Akaya Taylor, and Taylor wrapped up in the backfield. May have gone a yard or two as she continues to fight forward, but nonetheless, a very short gain for the Inferno. And if you're Tampa Bay here, you have had no luck on offense so far in this game. Everything you've done has been stuffed. What answers can you have for a Vixen defense who has been just as good defensively as they are offensively? One of the best teams in all of the WFA so far this season.
Just inconsistently for Tampa. They've shown us a couple of highlights here and there throughout the game. They haven't been able to string a few plays together, get a couple of first downs, put that together. That's really been the issue today.
Tia Holmes breaks a tackle, able to get a little bit of a positive gain, but will bring up a 3rd and long still for the Inferno, and they'll have to put the ball in the air once again if they want to crawl back into this one. Octavia Lowell gets her call as she heads over back to her huddle.
You know, we saw in the first quarter with Lowell, there was a play action. She kept it herself. She was able to run for a first down, and we haven't really seen that from her since. I wonder if now might be a good opportunity to see a play action and maybe keep it.
We'll see here. She did it a lot in Pittsburgh the other week. Ran for 136 yards on 11 carries. She rolls out right, looking to throw, firing down the field over the head of her intended target.
Look like number 80.
That's Kate Anderson, one of her tight ends. And it's another 4th down for the Inferno.
Kate, another look at it here as there is a rollout, but instead of keeping it, deciding to throw, and it's a little high.
A lot of strong passer, and once again, the Inferno with no choice but to punt as they're on their own 30-yard line. And down 41-7, getting late early. Now, I'm sure they've had conversations about going for it in their own end, but not yet.
I think, you know, defensively, the approach for Tampa once they punt this football back is going to be, how do we get a turnover? They almost had an opportunity before when they are on defense, deflected off their hands. Oh, here's a little trickeration.
And here comes Minnesota, not able to get much off of that play as Britt Peterson pitched it back, a little hook and ladder.
We have a pick 6 for Tampa. We almost had another interception. So defensively, they've had a couple of things working. Will we see it on this series right now? As we take one more look at ball being fielded and then on the return, pitching it back. But nice job by Tampa snuffing that one out.
Peterson faked the pitch back earlier in the game, elected to keep it herself, and this time actually does pitch it. Well, the Inferno's defense at the very least has looked a little better so far in this one, but still a massive hole to climb. Second half, they've looked better than the first half.
Might have another injury, might take a break here.
Yeah, we're going to take a step aside. Minnesota Vixen 41, Tampa Bay Inferno 7. Don't go anywhere. It's WFA football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now's your chance to score a touchdown with Varsity Media's ISO video. Video footage that focuses on your athlete only. Perfect for recruiting reels. Spots are limited, so reach out today. Email jeff@varsitymedia.net to book your next ISO video with Varsity Media.
This city's had its champions.
And history is made in Tampa tonight.
Now we're coming for what's ours. We're the hit you didn't see coming. We're the voice in your head saying, they never let up. We're the ones still standing in the fourth.
1, 2, 3, forward!
Focus, discipline, finish. It's what we do.
Let's go!
They said this game wasn't built for us. That we're just women playing a man's sport. But when we take the field, we're done being just anything. You in, or will you be left behind?
from the Sunshine State. 41-7 is your score, and some movement up front early, and they'll blow the play dead. We'll see if it was the Vixen who jumped early or if it was encroachment on the defense. And they're pointing, looks like the defensive side way, and they're going to move up. So Tampa Bay getting a little ahead of themselves, jumping early on the play. And Minnesota, an offense that doesn't need it, but they'll get a little bit better field position. Well, we're pleased to be joined by you wherever you may be watching this game. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin on the call. Don't forget to subscribe to Varsity Media Sports Network, covering all varsity sports in New York, and in this case, professional women's football down in Tampa Bay, Florida, taking the trip. Erin Kelly takes the snap, gives it to Ray Jefferson. Patient has her holes right back up the middle. And she's almost got it, or she does have the first down. Ray Jefferson waiting, or excuse me, not Ray Jefferson. That's another running back there. That's the tight end, Mackenzie Reed, getting the handoff, and Reed pounding her way forward.
I would expect you'll see a lot more running right now by Minnesota, as we talked about previously on their last offensive series, especially with another injury on the field before when we took a break. You want to come out of this game healthy, improve to 5-1, get ready for the next game. I think that's the goal right now.
Fresh set of downs for the Vixen. Kelly throwing under pressure, lobs one towards the end zone and right through the hands of Sloveg Lundberg. Lundberg had a trip to the end zone, a free 6. We'll see the play here.
Look at Kelly's arm on this. Steps into the throw, right down the field. That's a 40-yard dot and could have been longer if that was hauled in for the touchdown, but wasn't meant to be.
No, it was not, so we will do it again. 4 minutes and 57 seconds left to go in just the third quarter. A slower moving game here, plenty of points on the board. We've had a handful of injuries in this Tampa Bay sun. It was just about 89 degrees. And Kelly takes a snap, shotgun set, hands it off. Once again, it's the tight end, Mackenzie Reed, falling forward about halfway to the sticks.
We talked about number 60, Terrius Smith, at 5'5", the defensive lineman there that's anchoring that line. She comes up with the tackle there. Graduate of Florida State University.
Well, it really amazes me. Every single member of this Tampa Bay roster, it's not a big roster, but still a pretty sizable one. Every single member besides one resides in or was from Tampa Bay, Florida. Erin Kelly under center, sends Jackie Radford in motion, gives her the handoff. Radford has to get around a defender, able to do it. Up the sideline, breaks a few tackles, and she has a first down while staying in bounds, keeps the clock moving.
Castro with the pursuit, never gave up on it. Tried to set the edge, as you see. We're going to see it right here. Okay, so tried to set the edge, had the penetration, and never gives up. Stays with it through the tackle. Nice job.
Yeah, Radford was backed up about 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. Could have been a loss on the play, but credit to number 81 doing what she does so well, creating space and keeping plays alive.
Yeah.
Well, Jackie Radford was held quiet in last week's game. And now in motion once again. This time a handoff up the middle. Once again, it's Mackenzie Reed. Reed bounces it to the outside, taken down after a gain of about 4. And another injury on the field.
Yeah, I think this is cramping, and we've seen a lot of it today. It's very hot. Last check, it was close to 89 degrees. At 8, there you go. Feels like 91.
It's only felt hotter. We started with the feel of 89 degrees.
Good thing there's air conditioning here in the press box.
Yeah, how about that? Could be much worse, but it's been cloudier over our area here. So at the very least, the sun has gone away, and you can play in the shade a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on the field in these conditions. They're troopers for being out there on the field, both teams, Minnesota and Tampa.
I mean, all that padding on as well. Can't be doing them any favors as Minnesota drawing up a play. Clock still running. Just over 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. The Vixen chasing another 50-point game. They're 9 points away from it. Aaron Kelly in the shotgun set. Play action, rolls out left. Pressure, firing back towards the end zone, and it is caught by Jackie Radford, and she's in for her third touchdown of the game.
Radford, the human highlight reel. She could put all this tape together of everything she's done today. Send it off to Sports Center. Unbelievable. What an effort today by her.
I mean, here's the play again. Kelly rolling out under pressure with a couple of defenders in her face. A perfect throw. She's had a couple of them. Slovak Lundberg dropped the perfect throw earlier, but this time it's Radford finding the end zone.
Oh, we had a flag. It's coming back. It's coming back. After we talked so highly of the great play, wasn't meant to be.
So we'll see if Minnesota can do it again. But the Vixens so far, they've been bitten a couple of times by the flag, as Tampa Bay has as well. 1:59 left to go. They're going to have to put some time back on the clock. We'll see if that's where they stop. And the clock is running again from 1:59.
And on the penalty, it's going to be second and long.
Well, Minnesota, we'll see what they want to draw up here. They're well out of field goal range. Just shy of their own 40.
Looks like second and 13 after the penalty.
Kelly in the shotgun set. Reed behind her. And she elects the pass being swarmed and will just throw it away. Did she get it back to the line of scrimmage is the question. Looks like she did.
They'll bring up third down.
And the Inferno defense bending, not breaking once again. Have let up just one touchdown so far in this half. And although not what they wanted compared to the first half where they put up 3 touchdowns, the Vixen did in the first quarter. It has certainly been a better showing here for the defense in Tampa Bay. Kelly lined up, third and long. Radford at the top of your screen, Lundberg at the bottom. Here's the play. Kelly looking left, and that pass is deflected up in the air, intercepted again. A couple of turnovers for the Tampa Bay defense. This time a lineman coming through on the play.
We're going to get a look at it. Hard to see who came away with it. Ball shot right up in the air and playing like center field, coming down with the interception. Can't tell by the number, but another defensive turnover for Tampa, another pick. And, oh, we're going to get a penalty here. Oh, no, negate the interception. It's a personal foul, roughing the passer.
Oh, my goodness.
And it erases the interception.
And
we're going to see this again. Let's keep an eye on the quarterback. And the quarterback's out of frame, so he can't really see where the penalty was. Might have been a push after the throw, but you did see that the flag came in right away. It wasn't a late call. They threw that flag right away. Unfortunate turn of events here for Tampa.
It's a fresh set of downs. Aaron Kelly gets a second life. High snap, gets it, handoff over to Ray Jefferson. Jefferson rumbling and stumbling to the outside. A stiff arm, and she is out just shy of the 10-yard line. We haven't called Jefferson's number much in the second half, but there she is with a gain of 9.
Well, Jefferson hurt her back at the end of the first half. And here you see you're doing some damage here late in the third quarter. Not the fastest ball carrier, but very physical.
And for the Inferno, who finally thought they caught a break, shot themselves in the foot and keeps this high-flying offense on the field for the Vixen. And for Minnesota, they have been all over Tampa Bay. Aaron Kelly lines up shotgun, 30 seconds and counting, 41-7 lead. Hand off on the inside. It's Jefferson again, spinning, taken down. And Ray Jefferson helped up by a couple of Inferno players, her own player as well, Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turgeon. Pleased to be joined by you wherever you may be getting your action from for WFA football, Tampa Bay in their season finale. 26 seconds left on the clock, and it stops. Interesting there. I didn't see anybody call a timeout, and it's the end of the quarter. Okay. So clock stops, but that'll do it for the end of the third quarter. The Minnesota Vixen up 41-7. How about number 10, Erin Kelly, doing it herself again. That's her second rushing touchdown of the game. We'll take a step aside. The Vixen lead at 41-7. Don't go anywhere. Fourth quarter up next. You're watching WFA football right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Welcome back to Tampa Bay, Florida, as the sun slowly sets on beautiful Sickle High School field. The Tampa Bay Inferno in their home finale, down 41-7 to the high-flying Minnesota Vixen, who are averaging 41 points per game, and that's where they sit right now, looking to add on some more. Final 15 minutes left in this one. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin, pleased to be joined by you wherever you may be getting your Varsity Media Sports Network action from, covering all varsity sports in the New York area. And also, in this case, Tampa Bay football. RPO over the middle. Touchdown for the Vixen. It's Eddie Halverson hauling in her first touchdown of the game, and the Vixen once again find the end zone.
Halverson at 5'11", a big-time target there for Kelly. It's a high snap. Kelly's able to bring it down, and nobody around Halverson. She can walk into the end zone.
Right outside of the break, and the Inferno picking up right where they left off, letting up another short guard touchdown. And the Vixen will look for the extra point once again. Kickers missed 2 in a row here, looking to get back on track.
I think this is Caitlin Hill attempting the kick.
And this one is up, and it is good. So we come back from break. We'll throw right back to break. It's a 48-7 lead for the Vixen of Minnesota over the Inferno of Tampa Bay. Don't go anywhere. You're watching WFA football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This city's had its champions.
And history is made in Tampa tonight.
Now we're coming for what's ours. We're the hit you didn't see coming. We're the voice in your head saying, they never let up. We're the ones still standing in the fourth.
1, 2, 3, forward!
Focus, discipline, finish. It's what we do.
Let's go!
They said this game wasn't built for us. That we're just women playing a man's sport. But when we take the field, we're done being just anything.
We're back in Tampa Bay, Florida. 48-7 is your score. The Vixen have put a pounding on the Inferno. They received the ball back, and a return is stopped short by this swarming special teams of the Minnesota Vixen. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin. Pleased to be joined by you in sunny Tampa Bay, Florida. But the sun has gone down, and speaking of Varsity Media Sportscast, book one with us.
Absolutely, Giuseppe. If you like what you hear, if you like what you see, and you want to get a little promotion to your team, whether it's professional, whether it's high school, whether it's youth, contact us today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net, and let us help promote your teams through our broadcasts.
There's Anthony Kama, Farmingdale Daler. led all of Nassau County in rushing last season, and for the Inferno, a great rushing team of their own. They come in third in yards per game on the ground. You haven't seen it this game so far. The Vixens defense has been all over Tampa Bay. They are back in action. It looks like we have a new quarterback in the game. That'll do it for Octavia Law. We'll get you her number in just a second. And we'll see who takes over. And wasting no time firing them down the field to Octavia Law. And Law packs right back up, so we'll see if that was just some trickery there from Tampa Bay or if Octavia Law's moved back to her original position.
Right.
At wide receiver.
It might have been 13. Ashley Parker potentially throwing that ball.
And we'll see. We'll try and get you the number there.
Parker at 5'10", went to the University of Alabama, lives in Ocala, Florida, or from Ocala, Florida. And she's going to stay in a quarterback.
Okay, so how about that? New quarterback to keep an eye on, it's Parker. And she takes the snap again, throwing immediately over the head of Octavia Law by a few feet there. She looks as uncomfortable as anybody could in that position, and you can't blame her. She doesn't play there.
Very lucky that wasn't picked off because that was a high throw, and there were a couple of defenders there for Minnesota waiting back. And I don't know if it was deflected by the offensive player, but they did not haul it in. Very lucky that wasn't a turnover.
And if you're Tampa Bay right now, you certainly seem to wave the white flag, taking your starting quarterback, Octavia Law, out of the game. But not to keep her healthy because she's lined up in her original position. Maybe that's to create some spark on offense. Get another body out there, somebody who plays the position, originally a wide receiver. Entered today's game with the second most receiving yards, just behind Meg Joyce.
I wonder if they want Lowell as more of an explosive weapon, and maybe they feel like Parker has a little bit better of an arm, or they're looking for something downfield. But Lowell is the running back here in this formation.
And she's going to take the pitch. Here comes Octavia Lowell, bouncing it to the outside. Stiff arm, evades a tackle. Here comes Lowell down the sideline. She has some room to run. Tight roping in and all the way down. Octavia Lowell, all it took was a bit of a change in the position. And it's a touchdown for Tampa Bay.
What a run by Lowell. You got to be kidding me, folks. This is a highlight reel run, and you nailed it on the pitch. How many tackles does she break? Here comes the first one. There's one tackle missed. Here comes a second tackle miss. Keeps her balance. And the tightrope down the sideline. That is a very impressive score.
You cannot make it up. Octavia Lowell, who had to fill in this season at quarterback after Malaysia Sullivan went down with a knee injury, was doing nothing on offense this game. And the first drive outside of the position as the extra point is up and good. Scores a touchdown from the running back position.
Candace Brady with the kick with the extra point there.
48-14, and Tampa Bay slowly trying to get back into this one. Don't go anywhere. WFA football presented by Varsity Media Sports Network.
What's up, this is Sean Lights Out Merriman, former Charger and Bill, and you're watching Varsity Media.
The sun sets on Tampa Bay, Florida, as the Inferno down 48-14. But it was Octavia Lowell, who's been the team's quarterback for a majority of the season, lined up as the running back. Had herself a house call to get the Inferno with another 6 points that turned into 7 on the board. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin. And it's the Minnesota Vixen returning the ball from their own end. And the Inferno with a nice stop there on defense on their special teams, and for Minnesota, setting back up, looking for their third 50-burger of the season.
Jade Alexis Jordan, number 20, at 5'5", making the special teams tackle there from Riverview, Florida.
Well, not even 60 seconds has passed in this fourth quarter. And Tampa Bay has scored so far. Minnesota looking to answer right back.
This might be an opportunity for some of the other Tampa players that may not play in the game all the time. Get some playing time here in the fourth quarter, put something on film, let the coaches see what kind of player you can be here. So good opportunities here late in the game, start of the fourth quarter.
And despite the sizable lead, Erin Kelly trotting right back out to lead her offense at the helm. Kelly with 6 different touchdowns today, 4 passing, 2 rushing. And Kelly in the shotgun formation, Ray Jefferson behind her. Takes the snap, under pressure, fires to her right, caught by Jackie Radford, and she's out of bounds after picking up a first down.
Yeah, Jackie Radford has been such a problem today for Tampa. She is a very talented receiver, can also run the football, can get downfield rather quickly, and they just really have had no answers for her today, Giuseppe. She's been such a weapon.
She's been one of the best players offensively in the entirety of the Women's Football Alliance, and showing exactly why today. The Swiss Army knife, she is as good as they come, exactly as advertised. And a fresh set of downs for Minnesota. Erin Kelly in the shotgun formation. Radford at the top of your screen. Dvorak in motion, handoff up the middle. And it goes nowhere for the Vixen.
We got a new tailback in the game here for Minnesota. I think it's number 19, who is Jessica Eppenberger from Minneapolis.
So a Minnesota native. And it looks like we have a bit of an injury as well for the Tampa Bay defense, limping off of the field.
There's a good look at Tampa Bay's interior lineman, Terria Smith. As we're able now to see the numbers a little bit better for Tampa with the sun setting, Giuseppe, as you mentioned. But the defensive line has played a decent game today for Tampa. Everything that Minnesota's gotten has pretty much been through the air.
They've certainly been able to clog up most of the run game. Kelly drops back, has a receiver over the middle, and once again it's dropped by Sloveg Lundberg. She's had a few come her way, as she has not been able to corral in. Still has a touchdown in this game, however, but could be much more.
Another look at it here. You're going to see just a drop here by number 12, Lundberg. And there was a defender there, so I don't know if she took her eye off the ball, which happens a lot. When you drop the ball, you take your eye off the ball, so that could be a reason why. It's an incomplete pass, which is going to bring up here 3rd down and 10.
Erin Kelly trotting back out to the field. Tampa Bay looking for just their second 3-and-out forced. It was one of their keys to the game, forced 3-and-outs, and that has not been a key they have cracked the code to yet, as the Vixen have been all over the Inferno. They've cashed in on a couple of 3rd and longs. Let's see if they can do it again. Kelly under pressure, fires over the middle. It's caught, and there's Lundberg off to the races. High stepping over at the 10 into the end zone, and it's a touchdown for Minnesota. And for the 4th time this season, they break 50 points. And when it rains, it pours for the Vixen. And the Inferno have not found an answer.
Another look here on the replay. I remember Lundberg just dropped the pass a moment ago. This one she was not going to drop. Nice catch. And then the speed getting past the secondary of Tampa for another Minnesota touchdown.
8 touchdowns on the day for Minnesota. Just incredible. And we still have 12 minutes and 20 seconds left to go, if you can believe it or not. Extra point pending. Here's the kick, and it is good. Well, 55-14 is your score. We'll take a step aside. Don't go anywhere. WFA football. The Minnesota Vixen lead the Tampa Bay Inferno on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athletes' key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression.
Kickoff underway, 55-14 lead for the Minnesota Vixen after Slovig Lundberg picked up her second touchdown of the game so far following a series of drops. Lundberg able to get back into the end zone for her second of the day, and it's 8 touchdowns now for the Minnesota Vixen. 1 rushing, 5 passing, and a couple of QB sneaks. That's where we sit right now. The Vixen leading it 55-14 in the fourth quarter. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin in the Sunshine State, Tampa Bay, Florida. Pleased to be joined by you wherever you may be getting your WFA action.
And last time Tampa had the ball on offense, it was Octavia Lowell with a massive run for the touchdown. So obviously they've changed some things offensively, and let's see if they go right back to her as a weapon.
And Octavia Lowell right now, as you see her on the bottom of your screen.
There she is right here. Now she's lined up as a receiver. They've had her as a running back, so clearly they want to use her in a different assortment here in the fourth quarter.
And it's worked so far with a big running touchdown, and she was targeted on the 2 plays she was at wide receiver. Handoff up the middle, Akaya Taylor with a burst of speed, bounces one to the outside. Here's Taylor picking up the first down, then a little more. Cutting back in now, gets a block. Akaya Taylor still not down. And finally wrapped up at about the 35-yard line. They are in Minnesota Vixen territory after 1 play.
Yeah, well, it's been a nice fourth quarter here so far for Tampa. This time they go a different direction, and look at the hole that opens up on the right side. And Taylor does the rest with the speed.
And right here, look at this block. Able to keep the play alive, and the Vixen, for the first time, got backed up while trying to defend the run.
Taylor from Parrish, Florida.
And looks like we may have a timeout called here. So another timeout called, stops the clock, and Minnesota will talk it over with their defense as Tampa Bay looking to draw up their own plays as well.
Want to remind you that this is not the last game for Tampa. They have 1 more game in the regular season. It's coming up next week, June 13th, against the DC Divas.
DC Divas got the better of Tampa Bay earlier on in the season. A 26-20 loss for the Tampa Bay Inferno, but that was a turning point, according to head coach Laurie Johnson, about how the team felt mentally. And over the last 2 games, they've certainly showed more fight than at any other point of the season. But today they have gone back to their old ways, it appears. It has been all Vixen so far. But Tampa Bay getting some clicking going on offense here.
It would probably be a little bit colder or not as hot in Washington, D.C., I would think, next week as Tampa.
Well, I'm sure they will definitely take that. They're playing in temperatures right now that feel like 91 degrees as the temperature has gone down. Now feels like 85. 84 is the real temperature.
Oh, well, that sun sets, you know, you lose a couple of degrees.
And under the lights, the black jerseys, and finally those red numbers on the jerseys pop. Way easier to identify who is where. Well, Parker under shotgun takes the pass, firing deep to the end zone, has Meg Joyce for a catch. And Minnesota being backed up again. Tampa Bay enters the red zone, looking to get another touchdown here. We'll get another look at the throw.
What a catch by Joyce, and a great throw as well. But here's Joyce, has to slide down and just, you know, corral that football from hitting the turf, and she does just that. Big time catch.
Well, Parker, somebody who has not played quarterback a lot this season. She has only thrown the ball deep. You gotta love to see it, the confidence in this woman. We're under 11 minutes left to go in this one. 55-14 is your score. Late handoff, Akaya Parker right back up the middle, breaks a tackle, then meets a wall of white jerseys and is finally backed up.
Yeah, Taylor with a nice carry. I like what Tampa is doing. They're showing different looks now to Minnesota. That time Lowell again lined up as a wide receiver, and you had 2 tailbacks in the backfield in a shotgun formation. We hadn't seen that all game, and it leads to a few yards here. So, you know, listen, Tampa's starting to move the football here in the fourth quarter. Crazier things have happened in football. We all know that. So maybe this game's not over yet.
Which certainly take a miracle for the Inferno, but how they've been playing with their underdog mentality. If any team can do it, the Inferno certainly feels like it's them.
And if nothing else, you're gaining some momentum for the last game of the season. You're putting something else on tape here for your opponent to take a look at and have to respect.
Parker under center. And a handoff right back up the middle, bouncing it to the outside, evading one tackle, and finally be taken down is Shea Rutland. Rutland, number 9, haven't called her number a lot in this second half. She was involved heavily in the first half and finally getting another carry here.
Rutland at 5'4" from Clearwater, Florida, not too far from this Tampa area. They don't seem to be too much in a hurry. Clock is not your friend here, so want to kind of get up to the football, get up and go here as we're approaching 9 minutes and down by 41 points.
Inferno, only 14 points to their name, only 7 points on offense off of a long Octavia Law run, but the first 7 came on a pick 6, and once again Parker under center, once again Rutland in the backfield.
Defense creeping up to the line of scrimmage.
And it's a handoff right back up the middle for the fullback. Number 22, Tynequa Roberts. And Roberts gets a few more yards on the carry.
And a nice tackle by number 82, Augusta Schweitzer from the Danis Heights, Oklahoma.
Well, Tynequa Roberts was involved heavily in the 27-26 loss against the Passion last week. 15 carries for 53 yards, did not find the end zone. And she has one on the season, however, looking to get back into the end zone here. Or, excuse me, she has 2 on the season.
Looks like we're going to get a timeout here. I don't know if Tampa was able to get their offense call in.
And they'll talk it over, so we'll take a step aside. It's the Minnesota Vixen 55, Tampa Bay knocking on the door with 14 points. Don't go anywhere. WFA football on Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Now's your chance to score a touchdown with Varsity Media's ISO video. Video footage that focuses on your athlete only. Perfect for recruiting reels. Spots are limited, so reach out today. Email jeff@varsitymedia.net to book your next ISO video with Varsity Media.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
We welcome you back to Tampa Bay, Florida. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin from the Sunshine State as the Inferno wrap up their home game. This is the final home game of the season. They will head to our nation's capital to take on the DC Divas next week. But as of right now, looking for an answer against the Minnesota Vixen, who averaged 41 points a game, scored 55 so far in this one. And outside of a blip of just 7 points last week, could be averaging way more. Another handoff right up the middle for Tynequa Roberts with her shoulder down, unable to get into the end zone, but about a yard short are the Tampa Bay Inferno.
And you know they'll go for it here on 4th down or when it becomes 4th down, so see how many more plays they will need to get into the end zone. Make this maybe a 55-21 point game.
Will not do much for the Inferno. They have quite the hill to climb, and the Vixen have scored on just about every single one of their drives so far outside of one, which was their first 3 and out, and their final drive of the first half, where they missed the field goal with time winding down. Parker in the shotgun set, a couple of running backs to her right. Octavia Lowell on the bottom of your screen. Meg Joyce at the top. Here's a play, a handoff. Kaya Taylor makes a one-woman miss, a flag down on the play. She's wrapped up just at the goal line.
And the flag came from the sideline, so I wonder if this is a illegal shift or somebody lined up in the wrong formation. Let's see what the call is.
Well, we'll see here, and I have some players clapping on defense for the Minnesota Vixen. Certainly is against the Inferno. That'll back them up, and I wonder if it has anything to do with a couple of running backs to the right of the quarterback, or if it was somebody jumping off sides, whatever the call may be.
Yeah, so it, just when you're a yard away from getting into the end zone, now you're backed up another 5 yards here. Tough break for Tampa.
That it certainly is. Clock continues to run. 7 minutes, 10 seconds left. As the sun has set on Tampa Bay, just as the sun has set on this Inferno team to try and scratch and claw their way back into this one. Octavia Law set up as the tailback now. Akaya Taylor on the outside, bottom of your screen. Meg Joyce at the top. It's a pitch out to Octavia Law, looking to get the outside, breaks through a tackle, and then eventually trips over. And the clock will continue to run.
Second and goal.
Second and goal, still have time for the Inferno to find the end zone, but in terms of this game, playing for pride now.
Yeah, you want to see if you can punch it and always look at the positives. You know, try to get one more score here. Maybe you'll try an onside kick if you get that. Who knows? But you want to put some good things together on tape here for your coaches and for your team.
Well, the bottom of your screen, a couple of running backs primarily. Akaya Taylor with Octavia Law, Parker in the shotgun. And Tampa Bay looking for the end zone. Firing that way, looking for nobody. It was in between Octavia Law and Akaya Taylor. So second and goal quickly becomes third and goal. 5:48 left on the clock.
Looked like some miscommunication, or maybe a route was run that the quarterback wasn't expecting. She threw the ball in one direction or one area, and the running back was not where the quarterback expected them to be. And again, you had mentioned it. Parker, you know, hasn't been playing quarterback most of the season, and so you could get that kind of miscommunication here late in the game.
So third and goal, 55-14 is your score. Down by 41 are the Tampa Bay Inferno. They're looking to punch in whenever they can. As you mentioned, Ben, any kind of positives they could take to their trip for our nation's capital.
I think no matter what, they're going to go for it on fourth down. Obviously, you'd like to punch it in here on third, but 2-down territory.
Here's a snap, handoff inside, and taken down quickly is Akaya Taylor. Fourth and goal. They'll be set up at just about the 5-yard line.
Interior line for Minnesota also very impressive. That time the tackle by number 96, Cynthia Bryan at 5'8", from North St. Paul, Minnesota.
Bryan with a couple of key tackles in this one, came earlier on in the game.
All right, so we're setting up for a fourth down here. This could be, you never know, but it might be the last opportunity that Tampa will have to score in this game.
Parker has her play call running out, and you can see head coach Lori Johnson shaking her head on the sideline, as this has not been a performance to remember for the Inferno faithful. Fourth and goal, and with a seemingly a third-string quarterback, as Malijah Sullivan, the starter, is out due to injury, and Octavia Law has been taken out, and we're going to have to wait. Another timeout called, so we'll take a step aside. It's 55-14 is your score. Varsity Media Sports Network presenting the WFA.
What's up, this is Sean Lights Out Merriman, former Charger and Bill, and you're watching Varsity Media.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
Just under 5 minutes, fourth and goal for the Tampa Bay Inferno. Giuseppe Oliveri joined by Ben Turchin, thanking you, the listener and watcher, wherever you may be getting your WFA action from. 55-14 is your score. Fourth and goal from the 5-yard line. Parker drops back, elects the pass, fires over the middle, and it is incomplete. Turnover on downs as Minnesota will take over on their own 5-yard line and presumably just run out the rest of the clock in this one.
Yeah, let's see what Parker saw there. Just a quick pass and incomplete. Good defense by Minnesota. You know, they don't want to let one more score in here. They want to close out the game 55-14. I know there's still a lot of time left, but a defensive stop there on 4th down. They get the football back.
Kaya Taylor, the target, the running back, had the ball in her hands. It was a pretty decent throw by Parker, just unable to hang on as that throw was right into a linebacker, but no contact was made on the play. So the Vixen take over. 4 minutes and 51 seconds left to go. Erin Kelly, EK as they call her, runs back out on the field.
Yeah, she's going to finish this game. She's had a great game today, and why not let her finish the job?
I mean, I would be shocked if I see her put another ball in the air. But this Vixen offense loves to pass. So we'll see, especially on their own end. Handoff right up the middle. Here comes Mackenzie Reed as she's taken down just shy of the 15-yard line, so just shy of a first down, it appears.
Clock will continue to roll. Approaching the 4-minute, 30-second mark. Minnesota will go on to a 5-1 record. Very impressive.
Certainly one of the best teams in the WFA so far, and for Tampa Bay, a team just trying to find their footing, looking for their identity with a much smaller roster. I'll get more to that after this play. Kelly takes the handoff, snap, handoff up the middle to Reed. Bounces it to the outside, tripped up after she gains the first down.
Yep, that's good enough for a Vixen first down.
And for the Vixen, players all over, they almost double the size of the Tampa Bay roster. And for the Inferno, just one player not from the Florida area. She comes from Georgia, so it just goes to show you where these two teams are at. Head coach Connor Joe Lewis was a member of the Minnesota Vixens' first ever year. That was over 20 years ago in the WFA. She played wide receiver up until 2019, but after her third ACL tear, she elected to call it a career, shifted over to coaching, where we mentioned before she was part of the 2022 fellowship with the Baltimore Ravens, and another timeout called for the Minnesota Vixen.
And if you like what you saw today, if you like the production of Varsity Media, you can have us come and cover your team, which is a great way to keep fans, family, alumni connected with a Varsity Media Sportscast. How do you get us to come to your game? Simple. Contact us at 516-403-2050. You can send an email, ben@varsitymedia.net. With a subscriber base on YouTube of over 42,000. Love to come cover your squad and give you some visibility. So reach out to us today.
And the Tampa Bay Inferno looking to get a stop on defense. The Vixen just trying to close out this game. And they have really had their foot on the pedal. Well, their season high in points is 62. That came in week 2 in the Mile High Denver City, where they won 62-20, or excuse me, that was on their home turf in Minnesota. Handoff up the middle, and it's Reed who has a hole on the outside. Here comes Reed getting a couple of blocks, a first down and more as she steps out of bounds. The clock right now continuing to run.
That's a handoff up the middle, but she cuts it to the left side. Plenty of room there to pick up the first down. Blocking downfield by Minnesota. If you're a coach of Minnesota, you're happy to see that. And they're still playing hard. Both teams are still playing hard with 3 minutes to go.
2 minutes and 50 seconds left and counting. Erin Kelly in the shotgun formation. And a handoff over to Mackenzie Reed. Reed is swarmed, losing yards on the play.
I talked just a second ago how neither team is giving up in this game, and with that penetration there, you could see it. And you know, give credit to Tampa, still playing hard. That time, number 57, Jalia Hurst Smart, making a play.
She was there along with Danny Tanner, who has been wreaking havoc all season long for this team. Tanner with 12 solo tackles. That's good for second on the team, just behind Roberta Past. And then Zanae Williams and Ani Castro tied at first for 17. So we'll take a step aside. 55-14 is your score. Another timeout called on the field with 1:51 left to go. Don't go anywhere. Exciting finish. Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now's your chance to score a touchdown with Varsity Media's ISO video. Video footage that focuses on your athlete only. Perfect for recruiting reels. Spots are limited, so reach out today. Email jeff@varsitymedia.net to book your next ISO video with Varsity Media.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media @Varsity Media.
We welcome you back. 2 minutes left on the clock. The Tampa Bay Inferno and the Minnesota Vixen wrapping up what has been an eventful game so far. Plenty of points scored, most by the Minnesota Vixen. Giuseppe Oliveri alongside Ben Turchin. Handoff to Mackenzie Reed. She bounces one to the left side, taken down, and the clock will continue to run.
And Reed has been doing most of the carrying here on this drive, and she's done a nice job here late in the fourth quarter. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short after a 7-yard carry, or I'm sorry, 3rd and short after a 7-yard carry.
Ray Jefferson listed as the starter. She was taking a majority of the handoffs early. Ended the first half with a bit of an injury to her lower back. Has seen a couple of handoffs in the second half, but clearly her back's still bugging her, and that's led Mackenzie Reed to get a majority of the touches so far. In the second half, 1:20 left to go until the end of this game. Minnesota up by 41 points.
I think Kelly's finally out at quarterback, so they've said good game, and you've had a hell of a game, and now take a breather.
Well, we will see how Minnesota closes this one out. Low snap, and that play is blown up. Mackenzie Reed dropped for a loss of yards on the down.
Once again, Jalea Hurst-Smart, not number 57. Mariah Turner, number 47. She was in on the tackle.
Well, it's Solveig Lundberg, who is the receiver, has a couple of receiving touchdowns, now in to play quarterback to close out the game. Lundberg, season stats, just 37 yards. She's 3 of 8, and no touchdowns. She has thrown an interception in her 8 passing attempts. And Minnesota will punt it away here with 25 seconds left. And the punt is blocked. How about the special teams?
No one's running for it.
Oh, it's a scramble.
I don't think they saw. Now it's a touchdown, but I don't know if they recognized that the ball was still live and in the end zone. Some players were looking around. And Turner's in for the touchdown. She's going to get credited with the touchdown and the block.
Her first touchdown of the season.
As you see her looking around like, where's the football?
Oh, man, Danny Turner. Look at the wheels on her, able to just dive on top of that one, somehow staying in bounds. And the Tampa Bay Inferno have now gotten a hat trick of touchdowns from everybody. 1 on defense, 1 on offense, and now 1 on special teams, if you can believe it. 13 seconds left in the game, and we're not out of here just yet.
Giuseppe, if I was Tampa, there'd be a lot of what-ifs today. When I'm watching back this film, there was an interception that could have been had, 4th down conversions, some penalties. And I know the score 55, 20, or 21 is going to seem like, a big margin, but, a couple of breaks here and there, they could have given this Minnesota team a little bit more to handle.
If they just had a better first half. Well, we're going to take a step aside. Varsity Media Sports Network presents to you a 55-21 ball game.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
13 seconds left to play from Tampa Bay, Florida. The Inferno in their home season finale, but they play next week as they head to our nation's capital to take on the DC Divas, a special teams punt return that ended in a touchdown for Danny Turner. And with 10 seconds left, here comes Minnesota. And they may be able to run out the rest of this clock. And not just yet, 3 seconds left to go. The clock will run, and they will they call the game or will they let one more play go on? And they're going to have one more play left to go here with 3 seconds left on the clock, with the Vixen up 55-21. So this will be the last play of the game.
Should be a kneel down.
I mean, you would assume so.
Yeah, no reason to play anything else but a kneel down here, and that'll wrap up the game.
It's certainly been an adventure here from Tampa Bay, Florida.
Once again, we'd like to thank Jen Moody of the Tampa Bay Inferno for having Varsity Media produce and broadcast this game, and everybody that's a part of WFA, and congratulations to Minnesota on the victory today.
And Solveig Lundberg out for one final snap, the backup quarterback who was starting at receiver today, a couple of receiving touchdowns. And just one final huddle. They break it.
Should just be a kneel down here, and then we'll wrap it up.
Victory formation for the Minnesota Vixen. Lundberg will take the knee, and that'll do it. From Tampa Bay, Florida, your final, the Minnesota Vixen 55, Tampa Bay Inferno 21. Minnesota Vixen head to 5-1, the Inferno to 1-4. Their next stop, our nation's capital. And we'd like to thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Ben Turchin, our executive producer and color commentator. Technical director, Chris Sweeney. My name is Giuseppe Oliveri, and thank you to Amanda Muntz, our camera operator. Well, that'll do it here from Varsity Media, and thank you, the watcher, for tuning in, and thank you once again to Jen Moody for having us calling the Tampa Bay Inferno game. Once again, your final, the Vixen 55 and Inferno 21. We are signing off from the Varsity Media Sports Network.